can't see anything. YouTube! Thumbs up if y'all can see me. Can y'all see me? I hope so. YouTube won't let me be great. They always do this. I think it's maybe because I have a large amount of people waiting. They always try some technical stuff. Always when I have like a large number of people waiting. It's always a task to get on here. But that's okay. Because they won't let me be great. But we're going to be great. We're going to be great. Thank you all for your patience. I really appreciate it. Yes. Okay, come on. Y'all say, come on to the room. Is Tracy here? Tracy! This is another Tracy creation. Don't Get Ghetto by Mary Crosby. I got one more Tracy shirts that I'm wearing. Yeah, I'll wear it tomorrow for, what's today? No, that's not. I'll wear it Thursday for Married at First Sight. No, I'll wear it for Batch Chat tomorrow. Tracy hooked your girl up with some shirts. Ciao. It'll do. I was looking for my gold turban today. YouTube and my gold turban would not let me be great because y'all know my gold sparkly turban. I always wear with my pink stuff, but I couldn't find her today. I could not find her today. So here we are. Hey, Amber Sound. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Advice Queen. Oh, Rindrita. Hey, welcome. Well, because we got started a little late, I'm going to get started early because we got a lot to talk about. Guys, we're going to be here a minute. Are y'all prepared? Do y'all have your babysitters? Because we're going to be here a minute. No, Rhonda, I didn't see Cal on stage video about Matt's kissing. Oh, Abigail, we're going to get into it. Abigail, we're going to get into it. I said, what a mess this has been. Oh, we're going to get into it. We are going to get in. Yolande said, I moved all my meetings for you. Thank you. Kimberly said, I got my snacks and drinks. What's up, Aqua T? Said, I can't. Aquetti. I hope I'm saying your name right. Aquetti said, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Keely said, that finale. Caitlin Weaver's in the building. She said, had the day off of class, so I got all day. Listen, since you got all day, let's come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. Won't you come on in the room? Yes, Tracy, it's about to be lit. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. What's up, Denai? We got so much to talk about. Hey, pretty kitty. Oh, hey, pretty kitty said, I work for the IRS, so I need these laughs. Oh, girl, I'm so sorry. You probably got a couple calls from me. Where's my stimmy? The first one. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. I said, we got so much to talk about. Hey, Hope. Where you been, sis? So glad to have you here. Al Boogie's in the building, so Lord knows where this chat is going to end. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Nona. Thank you for coming on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Let's speed it up. We got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about because I do think that Chris Harrison may come back. There may be a window. There may be a window. We will get into it. We got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on and get in this room. Hey, Ashley. Hey, KT. What's up, Cash? Yeah, I'm still waiting for my first one, too. The government owe me thousands. I don't know why I'm not getting myself. I don't know why. But child, I know I done got on everybody at my state representative's nerves in the IRS. Where's my money? Okay. People about to get this vaccine. We about to be out of them streets. I need to be ready. I got trips to pay for. I'm stimulating the economy. Hey, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for my first super chat. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Elizabeth said, come on in the room. We got some things to talk about. We sure do. We sure do. Listen, we're going to have, to be quite honest with you, a long review, an even longer chat. So we're going to get started a bit earlier than we normally do. I normally wait like about 10 minutes, but we're 5 minutes in and we just have oh God, my notes. We got so much to talk about. So the funny thing about this before I get started is I wish I could do this with my mom, but we just didn't plan it. And she's just not ready. But my God, today, when I was watching this, her commentary, halfway through watching After the Final Rose, I look over and my mom's doing this. I was like, what is going on with you? Like, what are you doing? She was just like, because he needs a black woman. I said, Mom, girl, this season has done so much to my family. Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin gave your girl a super chat. Caitlin said, rumor has it Abigail turned down the Bachelorette position and that Katie was their second choice. Also was Caitlin, I love y'all. Also, was Bree silent or was she silenced? I think, well, you know what? I think the latter. Thank you so much for the super chat. Caitlin, I love y'all. Y'all are pure comedy. I don't think you guys know how hilarious you are. Y'all really be having me dying. And it's so funny because I never read them before I say them out loud. So I'm on a journey just saying what you guys are writing. I love y'all. But anyway, like I looked over. That woman is a lot. All right. Oh yeah, I'm sad about Abigail too. I'm sad about Abigail. But anyway, if you were here for, we will talk about that. If you were here just for the review, beloveds, it starts right now. All right, so we open up with Matt still dragging his daddy. You know what? Matt, you're gonna have to have another uncomfortable conversation with a black man, and this black man is going to be your elder, because how you have dragged your daddy this season, boy. Whoo, y'all gonna have some additional stuff to get through. I do feel bad for Matt because I'm like, this is, as somebody who works in entertainment, especially knowing how reality TV works, he was set up so badly. And it's unfortunate because this is not an avenue that he's used to working in. So he really couldn't see the game happening around him, but everybody else could see these patterns and these images and this, the direction this show was taking, but he couldn't see it because like the show is being filmed out of sequence, right? So some stuff that we see in the beginning probably was filmed in the latter. And I think a lot of what he's seeing now is a storyline that he probably had not probably, if you listen to his comments after the show, had no idea was being crafted for him. But that's reality TV. That's reality TV. And it's very unfortunate that for you to get this show, one of the things you had to do was set your father up like this. Because I mean, we're like, your dad is on The Bachelor, not you, because he keeps on referring to his father about future mistakes that he may make. And it's like, I feel like you're putting way too much on this man who you were saying has not really been in your life. Like, so he has such a great influence on you, but he has not been in your life. I'm confused, man. I'm confused. And I think I'm confused maybe because we did not get the full story, because maybe your direct questioning wasn't an understanding. It was more of a, to be quite honest with you, a persecution. But hold on, I have some persecutions are rightful, like some persecutions you owned, okay? You earned. But hold on, I got a Venmo from who? I got a Venmo from Graceland. Graceland said, I don't even watch The Bachelor. I've been reading social media, so I'm here for your take on this mess. Stay awesome. Thank you, Gracelyn, Miss Gigi88. Thank you, my love. And I got a super chat from Sharon. Sharon Kayira said, finally caught alive. Don't watch the show, but love your commentary. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you, Gracelyn, Miss Gigi88, for the Venmo. Anyway, I told you guys, right? I told y'all that his mother, Matt's mother, was going to have an entirely different setup. Let me tell you something. The only thing that's wrong with the way Matt's mother was set up, because we don't know the dynamic of this family. We only are hearing from Matt. We're not hearing from the mom or the dad or from the brother. So we really don't know. We just have his childhood interpretation of what his parents' relationship is, or, has become, right? So we can't speak on that. But before I go on, R. Jones, thank you for the super chat. R. Jones said, last Father's, you see what I'm saying? R. Jones said, last Father's Day, Matt posted a picture of his mom on Instagram and told his mother, Happy Father's Day. His daddy issues was totally foreseeable. Ciao. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, gosh, Matt, you did that and you ain't get dragged? Let me tell you something. Them fathers will drag you if you try to congratulate a mom. Baby! They probably didn't drag you because you're a man. They only do it to the women. Thank you for the super chat, K Pratt. Thank you so much. So what I was saying about how his mom was set up and his dad was set up, this is what I will say. For me, the only thing that I thought was wrong was the optics. We don't know Matt's experience. Like R. Jones just said, he thanked his mother on Father's Day. So there's definitely some daddy problems there and some issues, some father issues there, right? The fact of the matter is, this is a TV show with an audience that does not look like me. Let's be real. I'm in the audience. I'm not the intended audience, right? So how you set up this story to a mainly white or non-Black audience matters, because you have a Black, we will talk about Matt calling himself a Black man. You have a Black lead who has a Black father who he is saying is absent in his life, perpetuating a stereotype that was formed within slavery and built off of the prison industrial system. But that's not explained, right? What's explained is the fact that his father left his mother, or his mother divorced his father because he was cheating on her and starting other families. So what we see is this Black father come to think that he's celebrating his son, but come to atone for his sins as a absentee deadbeat father. At least that might not be true, Matt. That is the interpretation, right? When you put this on TV, you leave the interpretation up to us. So now we're interpreting who your father is from what you are giving us. And then you put up your white mother as this angelic, long-suffering woman who has endured so much pain because of what your Black absentee father did. That could all be true, but the optics of how the father is painted and how the mother is painted in this nation, knowing the race issues that we deal with, is a problem. Because you can tell that this storyline was crafted through a white lens, because I guarantee you no Black person in the room would have greenlit that. A Black person would have said, this is absolutely his issue. And if we're going to talk about it, we have to be very clear and distinct with the route that we are taking, because all it's going to look like is that this Black man is bad and this white woman is good. And we have to make sure that we are telling Matt's story honestly and not giving a stereo, a storyline full of negative tropes for Black Americans or Black people in general. But they didn't do that. Y'all just put this up in a whole season. Matt is talking about how terrible his father is. Now, him and his dad may have a tumultuous relationship. There may be days when it's really bad. There may be days when it's really good. I am one to think that we just got a lot of the bad parts that Matt was speaking about with his father, and they crafted the storyline through that because Kay Pratt, hold on. Let me acknowledge Kay Pratt's super chat. Kay Pratt said, I get Matt. When I was 7, my mom took me to catch my black dad cheating with the white woman. I went to therapy and am now able to trust men. Amen. Oh, baby, that's a lot to unpack. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm glad you're better. I don't know what to say to that, Kay Pratt. Thank you so much. I'm glad that everything has worked out for you. What's up, Tony? Jamie Lee, thank you so much for the Venmo. Jamie Lee said, oh, hey, Jamie. Jamie Lee said, hey, Nikki, Matt was so consumed with dragging his dad, only for us to realize that his mom, we are getting to that, only for us to realize that his mom also projected her issues onto him. The whole family needs therapy. You better tell the truth and what? Shame the devil. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you, Kay Pratt, for the super chat. And thank you, Christine, for the super chat. Hey. So the optics just was not a good look because we're only getting one idea. This is the first time and probably the only time we will meet your father, Matt. And this is all we have of him. We all know that families are complicated. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not good. But at the end of the day, there's love there and there's understanding there, right? But if it's not your family, you won't get it. So all we have is that this dad was, a bad guy and he's black, and the mom was a good person and she's white. You can even see in how he speaks of her, or the clips that we get of him speaking about his mom and the clips that we get of him speaking about his dad. I will give Matt the benefit of the doubt and say that he probably said some great things about his father that we did not get. Why? Because it did not suit the storyline. That's what it is. And I always say this with people who get on reality TV. Know that you are giving your life over to production to create what they want it to be. This may not be the honest interpretation of Matt's relationship with his father, but it's what the show gave us. We don't know you. We don't know your dad. We don't know your mom. We don't know your relationship. But what we got is that he's not a good guy. That may not be true, but that's what the show gave us by way of you. You got played, dude, and you didn't see this game. Now you're going to be dealing with something for the entirety of your dad's relationship, you and your father's relationship, and probably your relationship with your siblings from your daddy's side, baby. Baby, I know y'all got beef. I know you and the siblings from your daddy's side got beef from this season. Anyway, so that's the only thing, the optics of it. I just feel like the show just was not responsible with the images that they were going to be showing us. If you're going to tell the story, you got to tell the truth. You got to tell it honestly, and you have to be very clear on how you are telling this story because of the stereotypes and racism within this nation and the things that Black people deal with. You have to be very careful with telling that story because you can tell it one way and it can go way left, as we have seen. Anyway, not excusing his father for anything that he may have done, right? We don't know. But what I'm saying is the optics of the way his father was portrayed and his mother was portrayed was not a good look for anybody involved, especially this show. I hope him and his dad, I hope they don't have long-lasting issues because reality TV can, they can do some stuff because this will never go away. This is out there now. We will always have this, even when you and your dad are good. We will always have this. And some of us will probably, a lot of us are never going to ever meet your dad, again, and like have relationships with him or conversations with him or hear you say any other thing about him. Because like I said, Matt released that statement about how great his dad is and how they have a good relationship. But at that time, he was talking about some issues that he had at that time, which means that he's not there with him now. But you released that statement on Twitter. You dragged him the whole season. Baby, you got to go on the same platform and do just that, if that's the case. Anyway, I just feel bad. I hate when people go on these reality TV shows and their family gets involved, because we will move on from it because it's just a show. It's not just a show for the people involved, unfortunately. Um, then we meet Matt's mom. From the moment we meet her, it's like angelic music playing in the background for her. The way they propped her up. Not saying that she's actually a bad person, right? But just the optics of this. From when she walks in a room, it's like a soft piano playing. A soft piano playing. When Matt was meeting with his dad, it was dun 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 dun. Like, you are painting a picture. Whether you think it's intentional or not, you guys are painting a picture for us. So she, comes in with his brother. Y'all came out of the same white mama. What the heck? Matt's brother. I was like, how did this? Y'all grew up in the same household. Guys, is this the first time that we have seen grills on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? I think this is a Bachelor Nation first. I think this is the first time we have seen grills on any of these Bachelor shows. Not even Paradise. Not even Paradise. When we meet his brother, I'm like, how in the hell does this happen? How? And because one of you, who was it? One of y'all sent me something about his brother, and I went to his Instagram, and I was just scrolling through that Instagram to see something like what? Because I'm thinking maybe you were raised by your father. No, they was raised in the same household. How does this happen? Anyway, so we meet mom. She has the angelic music, and then we meet his brother with the grills. He gives me a mix of Nipsey Hussle and a bit of Colin Kaepernick. Cutie, he's a cutie. I will say this. The fact that Matt's own mama said, if my son gets engaged, it's going to be a long shot. Issue right there. Because the mama know. You know your baby. And she know that her son was not coming on the show to get married. She knows. I think that the mom was doing all this crying because I think she desperately wanted her son to, be married and have a wife. I think a lot of moms don't want their sons out there being ragamuffins. And, a lot of moms don't want their kids to be out there in the streets. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking she probably wants both of her sons to settle down. And I think this is her. I think with Matt, she knows that she has, the hope of getting a daughter-in-law she can rock with, because we know who that son bringing home. Ciao. What is it like at Thanksgiving with this family? Anyway, Angela Lewis gave your girl a super chat. Angela said, we also, hold on. We got a super chat from Angela. Angela said, we don't know what happened with Matt and his dad in relationship to their family, but watching the clips, I see a woman who probably tried to emasculate the father, but had more success with Matt. Oh, Angela, child, thank you for the super chat. We are going deep today. Woo! All right, and then we have a cash app from who? Is this? Who is this? Wait. Christine, thank you. Christine said, for you deserve. And thank you so much, Kimberly. Thank you, Christine. And thank you, Kimberly. I will say this to address Angela. I'm not going to take away what you saw, right? I didn't get that. I will say that I didn't get that from Matt's mom, but we will get into what I think happened with Matt concerning his mom. Because again, we don't know. Matt, I can only go off of what you gave me on this show, or what the show gave me. If I'm wrong, brother, let your girl know. And come on NikkiStar TV and let's chat about it. So I feel like the mom knew. I feel like she wants her son to buckle down and be married. But the first time we meet her, the first time that we meet her on this episode, the first thing that she says is, if my son gets married, if my son gets engaged at the end of this, it's going to be a long shot. She knows her baby and she knows where he's at, especially her baby boy. The brother had me howling because He was just a bachelor first, bachelor nation first, in my opinion. He shows up with grills and he says, when I sit down with these women, I'm not checking for what everybody else is checking for. I'm checking for a vibe. The brother said, vibe check. I'm checking for a vibe. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see how Michelle vibes. Oh, it's always one. It's always one because I'm trying to keep it real. I'm trying to keep it real. I'm checking for a vibe. I love that, brother. I wonder, and I'm just assuming, not assuming, I'm just wondering. I wonder if he has the same relationship with his dad that Matt has. Because if you look at the dynamics of it, Matt is the baby. Matt is the baby. Robert is older. Older siblings always have a different interpretation of the parents' relationship than the younger. A lot of times they know the truth because they have, not at least as much of the truth as they can because they've been there a bit longer. I don't know what the age difference with them is, but I'm wondering, does he have a different relationship with his father? Just a wonder. Let's get into Matt's mother crying. Again, I think this is why she's crying, because she sees Michelle and she sees that Michelle is a great girl. She knows her son. She knows that she's like probably crying because she's just like, oh God, this is not going to be my daughter-in-law. Like she knows where Matt is and she knows it's not going to happen. But I think she desperately either wanted her or Rachel to be it, like, because I think she's ready for that for Matt, but she knows it's not happening because she knows where she is. I think she was tearing up like any mother would, especially if you are in front of a great prospect for your son, because you're not just thinking of your son, you're thinking of your family. You're thinking of your relationship with the daughter-in-law. You're thinking of your grandkids and things of that nature. Like mothers think about the whole shebang. So I think that's what the tears were about, that she has met a great prospect for her son that he's going to fumble this bag and walk away from because she knows where he is. So the family meets Rachel. Rachel was like, I want Matt's mother and brother to like me. Well, sis, you're probably still in the running for Matt's mother. You and her probably still got a good relationship, but I'm gonna tell you right now, from what I get from that brother, I don't think you can even, like an Instagram pic on his page without getting dragged. That's just me. That's what I just feel. I feel like you burned all bridges with Matt's brother. I think you burnt all bridges with the Colin Kaepernick of that family. Rachel isn't good with the mom. As soon as she sits down with the mom starts crying. But Rachel is really good in this situation, right? Because when she sits down with Matt's mom, who I think had already been emotional from meeting Michelle, eyes were already tearing up. And then Rachel says this, oh, you're good, girl. Damn that plantation party, because you would have had this in a bag. You would have had such a totally different journey if you weren't problematic. So she sits down with Matt's mom and she's just like, I knew he was the one for me when, sorry, getting emotional. Right before we started this process, he prayed. And the mom, did he? Oh my. And so they just start crying. And like, if we did not know all of the mess that happened after the show, you would know that this girl sealed it. You would know that she got it from that moment alone. The mother's body started shaking when she said that Matt prayed and that's what she was looking for. And the husband, like, you're in. If you're in with the mom, you're good, right? So that's how I knew that that Tay-Tay and Zach were going to be it. Remember, I didn't want it. I always felt like my girl could do a little better. No shade to Zach. I think this was some people thought that I just didn't like Zach. I didn't like Zach for Tasia. It's my show, my opinion. But I knew the way Zach's mother responded to Tay-Tay, that she was going to make her son, make this it. Like, I knew from that moment that, Tay was in, so that was going to be it. I knew that Zach was going to be the pick from that interaction with the mom. You can learn so much from you can learn so much about who was going to be it at the end when you watch how the moms interact with the women. The only time this has ever gone wrong is Pilot Peter's mother. Whew, She was a mess, and y'all did not like her. The way y'all dragged that woman, I was like, oh, I was raised right. I'm not going to be cussing her out like that. But y'all did not like that woman. Y'all read her for filth. Y'all still reading her to this day. To this day, a clip just went viral of her at the reunion. Y'all was getting her together again in English and in Spanish. Child, whew, the Bachelor Nation was not happy with that woman. Anyway, I will say this. Although I felt like Rachel had it in the bag with Matt's mom, I did not feel like she had it in the bag with his brother. Here is why. Matt said two things that kind of gave me pause about his brother when Rachel was going in to meet him. He said to him, my brother is going to give it to you. You got to give it right back to him. Like, he did not prepare Michelle for his brother, but he prepared Rachel for his brother. And then after Rachel left, when they were in the woods hugging up, he was just like, so how did it go with my brother? Very concerned about how things went down with Rachel and the brother. He prepared her for him, gave her caution, and then asked about him after she left. So I'm like, either you really liked her and you wanted her to pass your brother's test, or your brother probably gives you a hard time for the kind of women that you choose to date. Because he was real focused on Rachel and this brother making it work. What do y'all think? Let's talk about it after the review. Anyway, we got a super chat from Common Sense Diva. Love the name. Common Sense Diva said Matt's brother, John the Scorpio, has a music video called Gotta Do Better. Gotta love the little hood vibe. Yeah. They grew up in the same household. You know what? I will say it's very understandable, because when you see me and my sisters, nobody would never know that we're sisters. Because I dress like Cockatoo from Zoobilee Zoo, and my sisters dress like Oprah. Thank you for the super chat, Common Sense Diva. Thank you for the super chat. Can you imagine those straight edge girls just walking down the street with me with my rainbow cardigan? They're always like, Nikki, is this what you're wearing? Yes, it's what I'm wearing. Deal with it. Anyway, Matt gets cold feet. Let's get into that. So basically, Matt's family said, you're not ready. That whole conversation after Rachel left, when Matt sat down with his mom and his brother, they were just like, you're not. They basically gave him the go ahead to get out of this situation, right? Because the brother was like, don't do nothing that you are not comfortable with doing. Basically telling his brother, we know that you're not ready, and we are giving you the go ahead to get out of this situation. Because after he sat down with his mother and his brother, everything changed for him. Like, let's be real. I knew he wasn't, come on, man. I'm not mad at you securing a bag. I'm never mad at anybody coming on reality TV and securing a bag, because they're going to pimp you out. You pimp this show out. So I'm not mad about that. But it was very obvious to me that you were not looking for a wife. So I knew that is where we were going to be at the end. Right. I didn't know he was going to pick some downtown Rachel. Look, I didn't know he was going to pick somebody who was so problematic. But I just didn't think that he would have a revelation so late in this season. And I think he probably was already feeling that. But his family giving him the confidence to back out of this changed everything within a matter of hours. Because after that conversation with his family, Matt was just like, well, I got the out. So let me just, start taking everybody out right away. Because then he goes and he sits with Michelle, and Michelle is like giving him gifts. Men or something else. You gonna sit there, let this woman rub up on your chest and lay on you and do all this talking to you and give you gifts, and then you say to her, I can't get there with you. After you had this woman rappel down a building, she was so terrified, but she did that for you because she loved you and she wanted to show you how much she loved you. You then, after all of that, because Matt, after you talked to your family, you felt that way about Michelle. You should have told her before she risked her life for you. You should have said that before. So I think that's what was happening with Michelle, because after Matt said that to her, she sat up and was like, because she's thinking, fool, when did you know this? When did you know that you could not get there with me? You didn't know it today. Because in this moment, there was not anything that could so drastically change your opinion on me. So she was feeling foolish because she was probably going back to, earlier in the day when they were doing all these activities. You felt that way. Why didn't you say anything then before I almost died going off that building for you? Why didn't you say that then? Save me some time, save me some prayers. But now, right here, you want to cut me. Okay, we got a super chat from J. Marie. J. Marie said, Matt needs some black folks in his life ASAP. He's a mess, child. I think he got him. Thank you so much for the super chat. So after Matt gets the cold feet and sends Michelle packing, let me just go back to this. When Matt was sitting on a curb crying after he cut Michelle, we get this moment with Chris Harrison, right? It's so weird watching Chris Harrison in this episode. Because if you go from the day that he had that interview with Rachel where he just burned everything down, the day he chose violence, every episode after that, there was less and less and less Chris Harrison until we got to this episode. There was significantly lesser amount of Chris Harrison than any other episode. But it was so weird to see him pop in and talk to Matt and say, what's up? Because it was just oh yeah, Chris Harrison has been here the whole time. He's just been cut out. And to see him comfort Matt after Matt sent Michelle home and he's crying about this whole process, it's a little weird. It's a little weird because he pops in this, ghost of Christmas past, and then he just pops out. It's so weird how he's edited out. And it's so sad how this show messed up such a huge opportunity for them this season. You can see it in their folly with the cutting out Chris Harrison and, switching hosts at the last minute. You can tell that there's an internal issue over there at The Bachelor, and especially The Bachelorette. But I think it's more a core problem at The Bachelor because that's the first show that started everything from jump. And I think it just never was really rectified or handled because one, the people in position are not diverse, right? The people who control that show are not diverse. And also the show made so much money. There probably have been so many problematic things that has been overlooked because of how much money they were bringing in. I'm telling you, I don't think that they just have a race issue. I think it's a lot more that probably will come out as, this show keeps on getting exposed. I think we're going to see some other things. And I think if they're not smart, if they're not getting ahead of things now, I think it might be the end of this show. But let's move on, because even it don't matter how much the fans love it. The network ain't trying to get sued. Okay, the network ain't trying to have nobody lift up their rug and see all of their dirt. I don't care how much money a show makes a network. They're not trying to get sued, and they're not trying to get any executives exposed. Period. They will make money another way. Okay, so when Matt sits down with Chris Harrison, right, briefly, we get, first of all, Michelle, and I want to say this, and this is not any joke. After, Matt so poorly cut Michelle, she walked out with grace. Ladies, it's time to stop getting dumped and, walking away with grace. You don't have to, especially if this person gaslit you and led you on. You don't have to be like, oh, okay, I understand. I'm hurt by that decision. No. You need to start walking around with some grits in your purse. Don't play me. You knew you didn't want me before I almost jumped off that building and died. You knew you didn't want me then. So let's have the conversation about that. Don't tell me that we're not there now after I done played myself and gave you my body. Now all of a sudden you can't get there with me. You knew you couldn't get there with me before you laid down with me. Here's a pan of hot grits. Start walking around with some grits on these men and things will change in society. Anyway, Matt, while he's talking to Chris, he starts talking about things concerning his parents' marriage, right? And the issues that he has with his dad and how he is afraid of, talking to Rachel and proposing to her because he's not sure if he's going to be like his father in a relationship with a woman. Like he's not sure if he's going to be a husband like that. And so he's very afraid. Baby, you need a therapist. You need your own personal therapist and you need a family therapist because there are a lot of issues that you have not healed from concerning your parents' marriage. And unfortunately, you are going to try to heal yourself through relationships with women and try to heal the issues of your parents' marriage through other women. And it is far beyond time for women to stop being men's therapists. Stop being their clinic. Stop being the one to help them heal. They got to heal before you get to me. Get your mind right before you even approach me. Don't come over here. I don't care if I'm looking good at Wingstop. Keep it moving if you got problems with your daddy or your mama. I don't feel like it. I'm not your therapist. I'm not going to help you through that. Being in a relationship is hard enough. We're not dealing with your mommy and daddy issues. I'm not being cussed out because your mother wasn't there for you. The devil is a liar. Go to therapy. Get healed. Then approach me, even if I'm looking good at Wingstop. So he's saying all this stuff about his mom and his dad, right? Especially his father. And here is where we need to talk about Matt taking up for his mama, like the babies always do. There's no, there's no shocker there. But he's making this show about rectifying his father's wrongs and vindicating his mom, because instead of saying, I'm not ready to be married, it becomes, I can't propose because my dad wasn't good to my mom. If that's the case, you should have never said yes to this process, because you've been here with your dad and your mother's relationship before the Bachelor people even called you. So that leads me into Matt wasted everybody's time because he knew he could never get here, right? Because he'd been had these issues. So Matt has wasted all of our time, because as soon as Matt sat down with his family, he knew he had an out. But before he even said yes to the show, he already had these issues, and he knew that he would not be able to propose to anybody at the end of this because he's just not fully healed and he's just not there. I think his family was able to help him or give him the confidence or the storyline that he needed to get out of this situation. But y'all know from jump, I was never convinced that he was ever going to propose to anybody. Before I go on, we got a super chat from Caitlin. Caitlin said, Matt just tweeted, Google therapist near me. Baby. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. Oh gosh. Yeah, baby. Oh, Matt. Yeah, you need help. And that's okay. We all do. We all do. So Matt sending Michelle home, right, was rough, but it was absolutely needed because he was just wasting her time and gaslighting her. Even though I don't agree with the things that Sundown Town Rachel did, I don't agree with him, again, wasting her time and putting her on ice, right? This woman, this is before, like, let's take out before we know about her plantation parties. She's sitting here looking out the window, giddy, waiting for, Matt to come, and somebody knocks on the door and she thinks it's Matt, and she opens the door and she sees Chris Harrison and she's just like, oh, hey. And he's like, Matt is working through some things. So just, sit tight. What is he working through? Because this is the day where I think I'm getting proposed to. So what's going on now? Right? So that's like a shocker to her. She don't know that he has just cut Michelle. She really doesn't know what's going to happen, but all she knows is that the host comes to her and not in the happiest mode. You know that something is going on, and he tells her, sit tight. Matt gonna put you on ice right now because he's working through some things. Excuse me? This is not okay. It's not okay for you to work through some things right before you have to make a really big decision. Work through some things in the beginning. Don't get these women here and then go, oh, well, I got some stuff I got to work on. Okay. Where's my ring? The stuff you have to work on that should have been fixed. Why did you waste my time? Because what you're telling me about your mother and your father been a problem. But right now, when you have to make a decision on who you're going to marry, all of a sudden that problem has become so huge, you can't make a decision. You got to leave the show. Not okay. You were gaslighting these women and wasting their time because you knew that you would not be able to propose to anybody at the end of this because you were in no way ready for a relationship or a wife. You came on this show for the experience, had no idea you were going to, one, get your black wake-up call, and two, live through the issues that you have had with your parents' marriage since you were a child. Unfortunately, the process was not as cush as you thought it was going to be. That still does not make it okay for you to waste these ladies' time. We got a super chat from Yolande. Yolande said Chris was leaning on that door frame. Talking to Rachel like, Matt won't take you out, but I will. Yolande, thank you so much because, baby, Chris Harrison was leaning in on that door like, hey, what's up? Chris, stand up. See, you got too comfortable with that job, bro. You got too comfortable and you thought that you were irreplaceable. But child, to the left, everything you want in a box to the left. Child, Katie and Tay Tay is coming for your job, boo. There's always somebody in the wings waiting. There's always somebody in the wings waiting. Anyway, I thought the whole thing was BS, right? Because after, Matt is like struggling with this decision, the show should have been done, right? But no, Neil Lane needs his wedding commercial, his engagement ring commercial that he's contractually obligated to get from this show. That is the only reason why we have this sit down now with Matt looking at the ring. Do I have a ring? This is going to have to be the ring. And he's just like, yeah. I think this is the one. Thanks, Neil. I think that this is the ring that I am going to use to not propose to anybody. He was not proposing to anybody. So why is he sitting down here with Neil Lane looking at rings? Because Neil Lane or Lane, whoever, he needs his commercial. If he's giving his show a free damn ring, he gonna need his commercial. So that's all that was. That was BS. At this point, the show had already known that Matt was not going to make a decision, that he was not going to propose to anybody. Dare I say they probably filmed this after? Because why, after he goes through all of this turmoil, he's crying about his parents and don't know if he could be a good husband, so he can't make the decision. Why are you meeting with Neil Lane looking at rings? That's Neil Lane's commercial. Because Neil said, come hell or high water, come proposal or not, I'm going to show this audience my ring. Or you're not getting another free ring from me. Period. That's what that was. That was a Neil Lane commercial. That dude was not proposing to anybody, and they knew it. But Neil Lane needed his commercial. Anyway, so after Matt gives the monologue to the ring, dude, you know what? I will say this. I will say that I don't think that Matt was aware of how, him talking about his dad was going to look on TV. But this monologue that he gave to the ring, buddy, you had to know at some point, you had to know they were setting your daddy up to look like a terrible person and they were using you to do it. Before I go on, Irene, hey, baby. Irene gave your girl a super chat and said, he really wasted our time. He sure as hell did. Thank you, Irene. Because Matt is giving this monologue to the ring and he's just like, this is the ring that I will use to propose to one of these two, possibly Rachel. With this ring, I will be who my father never was to my mother. Why your dad keep on catching strays? Why does he keep on catching strays throughout this process? Should he be the bachelor and not you? Because this was was so unnecessary because you were not going to propose to anybody. So why in this monologue are you bringing up how terrible your father was to your mom? What? At that point, Matt, when you were talking to this ring, knowing full well you were not proposing to anybody, you should have known that if it was suggested that you talk to that ring about how you feel about your father, cheating on your mom and starting a new relation, starting new families, how you say all over the place. First of all, that's your family, regardless of how they got here. Let's not do that. Let's not do starting families all over the place. I know your siblings on your daddy's side is like, oh wow. I wish he would have said that before Christmas, before I used my stimulus check to get his little ball behind something for Christmas. Starting families all over the place. That's your siblings. And listen, maybe it's because your mom is white, but where we come from, we don't do that half sibling thing. We family. That's my half sibling. We don't do that. We don't just, I don't know where you from. Won't do that over here. Anyway, you should have known that you were setting your dad up at that point because this first of all, this monologue was unnecessary. You were not proposing. And if somebody suggested that you drag your daddy while talking to this engagement ring that you are never going to use, you should have been like, wait a minute, what's happening here? You should have done that. Because at that point, you had to have known that this show was going to make your father look like Basura. Anyway, so after he does this whole thing, I will say this before I move on. If you got a big sister, because your father was a Rolling Stone, so we don't know if the siblings came before or after. If I was your big sister, I would be lighting you up right now. Your phone would know no peace. I would light you up by FaceTime. I will light you up through audio text. I will light you up through voice message. I will light you up on your Twitter DMs. I will light you up on your Instagram DMs. I will light you up on Facebook Live. And baby, I would light you up through Facebook Messenger. How dare you? How dare that? No, we don't take no family business to no show that don't like us. You're the first Black Bachelor, and this is the storyline you're gonna lead with. You would know no peace. That phone, your phone would get that little caution triangle that the iPhone gets when it gets too hot. That would be me. Be like, hey man, it's me calling again. Answer your phone. What? Girl, child, because sometimes you got to get them little brothers together. You got to get them little brothers together because they walk around here acting like they don't know what's going on. Sometimes I got to take the big sister to let them know. Sit on down and listen to me. Because you done went out here and embarrassed our daddy. You done told our business, but you ain't say nothing about that mother. I wonder why. I hope you got a big sister. I hope she's getting you together. I feel like if you don't have a big sister, it's definitely Rachel Lindsay because I can see her impact. Anyway, Nicole Dawn. Hey, Nicole. Thank you for the super chat. Nicole said, Nikki, you are... Oh, thank you. You are a majestic force of nature. Work. Yes, Nicole. My sister. It makes me so happy to witness your intelligence, humor, and charm. God made a good one when he made you. Oh, guys. You gonna get me. You gonna get me acting like Matt's mom. Thank you so much, Nicole. That was so sweet. Thank you. Child, I would light his phone up. Thank you, Nicole. Nicole's I've never met. Never mind. I was gonna say I've never met a nasty Nicole. It's been one or two. Anyway, thank you, Nicole. We're still, good people. Anyway, again, I felt like at that point when Matt was talking to the ring, he should have saw the exploitation of his father from afar. Like at that point, if you didn't get it then, if you didn't get it before that moment, you should have got it. But he didn't. He really, really didn't. I just felt like they keep on asking you about your father when you're sitting down in confessionals. Maybe then it should click that, oh, this is what y'all trying to do. But again, if you have not done this before, I can understand him not being able to get that. But it was clearly a setup for a poor Black boy with, absentee father and a white savior mom. This storyline was basically white savior because here you have two women in the end saving this Black Jesus. Bachelor. Oh my God. From just saying it. Ooh, y'all gotta have Black people in the room. Or just, this is what I have always said. If you're going to tell a story, right, about somebody from a community that you are not familiar with, that you cannot personally like bring your own lens to because it's not your experience, get somebody in the room who can. This was so preventable. This was so preventable. Anyway, so in the end, after all of this, Matt meets with at this point, she's not Sundown Town Rachel, right? We don't know about her, plantation parties that she attended. So I'm looking at it like that, right? And I feel bad for the girl. I really, really do, because Matt in the end says, I got problems. I can't propose to you, but I do choose you. I want you to be my girl. She took that like a champ. She did not have to. She did not have to. I will say the setup that they had for the proposal, beautiful. Wherever this resort is, if I was you, although this was a controversial season, I would be advertising more, because this resort was really, really beautiful. It really, really was. And the whole setup, the whole background, everything was very gorgeous about it. But the proposal backdrop, beautiful. Great set design. That's what I'll give this season. Great set design, great location. Terrible season. But she said, oh, okay. Rachel, you didn't have to say okay. You could have said, say it again. You have what? No, but this is The Bachelor. Where's my ring? Like, you could have bucked back at him and said that that's not okay. Not everybody is clear, but you could have, I don't know. I just felt like she took that as a champ because she had no choice. I felt like she just felt like she could not say, no, I'm not okay with that. And also, she really liked Matt. And I will say this, right? She liked him. I don't know love. I don't know if either one of them is in love. I will say that she really liked him. I think she really, really, really liked Matt. So no matter what he said, no matter if he proposed or not, she was going to be with this man either way. But he gaslit all of you women the whole season. I just wanted her to be a little, give him a little dagger. But it didn't happen. They, at the end, the first Black Bachelor, picked a woman. First of all, the first Black Bachelor got rid of. Whew, let's talk about the optics. The first Black Bachelor in Bachelor Nation history cut not only all of the Black women, all of the women of color, all of the non-Black women of color, and picked a white woman who has a racist past. Y'all got to sit The Bachelor out, at least for one season. Y'all giving us 2 bachelorettes. We will talk about that. Y'all just sit it out till y'all can get it right. This did not have to go this way. And it's so sad because, guys, I'm telling you, we would have never gotten a season like this if there was a Black person in that decision room. How you going to have a show about a Black person and nobody's making decisions or creating storylines for them? Nobody Black is making, or even biracial. Like, this was so preventable. That's why all of this stuff is happening, because it was such a quick fix. As soon as y'all were in the room, as soon as like one of y'all said, let's have them go to a spa created by the Pennsylvania Dutch. There should have been a pause, and it should have been like, maybe we need a Black person in the room. Whoo, child. If you don't know about the Dutch and race, Google, especially them Pennsylvania Dutch. Woo! Anyway, I have to say this, right? This season didn't have to be sponsored by antebellum parties. It didn't have to be, right? It really, really didn't. But it was because of the ignorance in the room, right? But let's talk about the ignorance of Matt. Because although the show may influence you, they can't do anything with your storyline that you don't give them, right? So as we were watching this last episode and I was thinking about the whole season, I'm over here, I'm taking my notes. And as I'm taking notes for this, I told you I was watching with my mom who was watching a show like this. My mom said, he picked his mom. Matt picked his mom. He sure as hell did. He sure as hell did. Before I go on, we got a super chat from Robin Thomas. Robin Thames, I'm sorry. Robin Thames said, I will watch this fall. Emmanuel is fine. Is he? Wait, let's talk about that at the end. What about Emmanuel? Is he the Bachelor or is he the host? Because I ain't heard nothing about that. And you know, I got all Bachelor tea on alert for Apple News. I ain't heard nothing about that. Thank you, Robin. Please explain yourselves, and we'll talk about it in the end. And I was just like, thank you, Robin. And I was just like, oh, wow, he did. Matt picked his mom. This whole season, Matt's father was on trial, and his mom was the victim. And he used this whole season, like I said earlier, to vindicate his mother. There lies the problem, right? Because then this show was never about him. It was always about his mom and righting the wrongs of his father. The problem with that is, and I say this as a child of divorced parents, especially when your parents divorced when you were very young, you don't know the fullness of what transpired, especially if you have both parents who, unfortunately, like our parents do, hide a lot of stuff from us. So we don't know what transpired in their arguments. Even if you were there, we still are interpreting their issues through a very young lens. Not saying that some of the stuff you're seeing isn't true, right? Not saying that your feelings at the time isn't valid. But you also have to realize you're not getting the full scope of their issues because your parents don't tell you everything. And they don't have to, right? We got a super chat from Robin. Robin said the chocolate host after the final rose. He's a keeper. He's a cutie. Thank you, Robin. And we have a cash app from who? We got a cash app from, gotta let it load. Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry said, for Matt, it's just an F-boy who uses his dad as a crutch. Oh, y'all are through with him. Y'all are through with Matt. But yeah, thank you, Jerry. Thank you. This is his mom's season. This is not him. Every decision that was made was because of his mom, was based off of how he feels for his mom and based off of the way he is bleeding, his bleeding heart for his mom and his disdain for his father. He was never ready for this process. Absolutely not. So he picked somebody who could represent his mom, and therefore he is trying to be his father and how he is treating her and being with this woman. I don't think a non-white woman ever had a shot with him on this show because he needed somebody who represented his mother. And unfortunately, and I don't think, and I mean, I know, the mom is a Trump supporter, so of course we have our own idea of her, right? But I will say this, I don't think that his mother expressed her pain or said the things that she said about his father when she was upset to influence her son. I think that in those moments she was upset and she was hurt, and she was probably fighting with the other women and being broken that this man has another family, and not at the moments thinking about being censored so that her sons don't hear her say some of these things, and we also have to, be honest with ourselves. And, although she has her beliefs and her views, we also have to be real and say that this boy probably saw his mom crying and hurting over his daddy, right? That absolutely crafted his idea about his father because that is the woman who raised him, right? Like I said, they got divorced. It was probably 60-40 when the parents started having problems. When a mom probably, who knows, a mom could have probably said, I don't want my kids hanging with them kids. So if you got to pick, if you're picking them up to have a family day with them other hoes kids, I don't want my sons with them. You don't know that conversation, right? If that's what actually happened, you don't know that conversation. You don't know if she said, oh, I don't feel like you today. You stay over there at your other wife's house. Don't come over here. You're not going to do the back and forth because you don't know if even when after they divorced, they was probably trying to do a little makeup. Oh, that happens all the time. The parents get divorced, and the next thing you know, lines start getting blurred. Daddy starts sleeping over again. Parents mom think they're getting back together, and dad is still just being a rolling stone. So we don't know what happened there when the parents were probably trying to get back together, and the dad eventually started sleeping with another person, started another woman, and started another family. So the mom is just like, I don't ever want to see you again because you don't know how to treat me right, so you can't see your sons until you do. We don't know if that happened. But stuff like that happens because when you're hurt, you react a certain way. Does she probably regret those things that she's done? Absolutely. Just like the father regrets the things that he's done. But at the end of the day, you are the child that came out of this situation. Those are your parents. You picking sides because you saw what happened to your mom and you're hurt by that. But we have to be honest, as a child, we don't expect. I'm not saying if you grew up in a house with your parents your whole life and you were able to see the toxic dynamic. But Matt was really young. His dad said he was like 2 or 3 when his parents got divorced. You don't know what happened, baby. You really, really don't. You only know what your mom told you. And she was somebody who was scorned and hurt and cheated on by your father. So there's no way that interpretation of the relationship is not tainted with her pain. So you ingested that pain and you started making these decisions based off of what your mother was going through and how she felt. So you're going through this whole season trying to find your mom, trying to heal that situation through this woman, through Sundown Rachel, or any of these women on this show, you know, right? To show that you're not like your dad. The whole season, I'm not like my dad. I'm this good guy. Then you get to the end and you're like, maybe I am like him. But I'm not going to be fully like him. I'm going to gaslight this woman and, make her believe that I'm going to propose to her. But then at the end, I want to be like, you know what? No, I'm not like my dad. I do want to be in a relationship with you, but I just can't marry you. You sound like your daddy. Okay, girl. Anyway, we got a super chat from Robin. Robin said, you're the best, Nikki. You always lift my spirits. I think the Bachelor set it up this way. First Black Bachelor falls in love with the racist. That's great TV. Reminds me of the TV show Unreal. LOL. Keep shining, Nikki. Thank you so much, Robin. Yep. If you have not watched Unreal, you need to. It's the closest thing to, it's like a farce on this show, right? But it's so real that it's unreal. It's really, it's on the nose. So that's what I think. I think that this season, we did not see Matt. We saw Matt's mom and we saw her influence. And I think he needs to heal that situation before he can be in any kind of relationship, because I do think that when there is a dissolution, right, of a relationship, there's always, I don't think that there's ever one partner who was perfect. I think that there's, things that both need to work on and both could have changed, or both need to take responsibility for. And I don't think that Matt's mom is fully innocent in this situation. I really, really don't. I think that there's just things that he will never know, things that the father probably, doesn't want to say because he was going to say it. Remember when he sat down with Matt, he said, do you really want to know what happened? Son, do you really want to know what happened? And we never got there because I was like, I want to know. Daddy, what happened? You got to say something to defend yourself because you out here looking foolish. If something really happened, if something happened that made you make that decision, aside from you being a Rolling Stone with that penis, let us know. What happened? What she say? What was done? What her side of the family do? Like they're especially them being in an interracial relationship in the 80s. Wait, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Some stuff happened. Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because listen, y'all, these two were raising black kids as in an interracial relationship around the OJ trial. When that verdict hit, the world changed for a lot of kids. So what happened? Let's talk about it. There's something, we never got his part because he never said it. He never said it. So, poor guy. I'm talking about Matt. TQ TV said it feels like Matt's mom early parentified him and he had to carry the emotional burden with his mother. I don't think Matt even cares for women, white or black. He turns stone cold on exits. Yikes. Points were made because man, you do. When you cut a chick, you just shut down. Very, very true. Thank you, TQ TV. And again, I'm not, justifying Matt's cheatation, Matt's father's cheatation. And, like Matt said, I'm sorry, Matt's siblings, not me. Your brother said this, starting families all over the neighborhood. That's what he said. I'm not justifying anything that he did, and I'm not vilifying his mother for the pain that she endured. Who the hell wants to go through that? You know what I mean? But I think she does have to take some responsibility for the things that you said about his father to him, because now this is, although you might feel that way about his daddy, your son shouldn't feel that way about his father, because it's very obvious. I'm sorry, I got to be honest, ma'am. It's very honest to the viewers watching that he feels this way about his father because of you. And I don't think you intentionally did that. I don't think you wanted to turn your kids against their father. I think you were just hurt by what their father did to you. And sometimes, parents turn to their kids to vent or to, for counsel. Well, you probably need to be turned into, a therapist or your girlfriends. You turn to your kids and they hear some things. So it happens. No parent is perfect. Everybody, makes mistakes. I'm glad that Matt is getting therapy or looking for a therapist. I hope he gets the help he needs. And I hope he, is able to heal himself before he gets in a relationship. You need to heal with both parents, right? Your mama need to tell you the truth. Your daddy need to tell you the truth. And you need to take from that what you can and prosper. You're never going to be able to go back and fix those situations, because at the end of the day, let's be real. Not all of us, but a lot of us who are products of divorced households we wanted our parents to work. We would have much rather have them, work out and raise us in this happy home, because when they were good, it was good for us. When our parents were okay and in a good place, it was good. That never leaves you as a kid, and it never leaves you as an adult. So we always wanted that. So not all of us, but a lot of us wanted the relationship to work out, but it didn't. And you stayed with one parent and you always got their idea and their interpretation of the relationship, because how can they not influence you when you're living with them 60 to 70, sometimes 100% of the time? How can you not be influenced by that? So yeah, Matt's mama was on The Bachelor. Matt's parents was on The Bachelor, not Matt. We didn't get to see him. Because he spent the entire season fighting, if he's like his daddy, and fighting for his mom. So we really, at the end of the day, never even got to meet Matt. We met Matt's battles. We never met Matt, unfortunately. The first Black Bachelor. Oh, the first Black Bachelor. What a season. What a season. What a problematic, trashy season. It could have been so good. Like the first Black Bachelor, his season opens up with him chastising Black women, right? Giving us a talking to when you should have been giving a talking to yourself. You should have been talking to the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways. You're chastising us. Opens up with him chastising Black women and ends with him picking a white woman who attends plantation parties. throw the whole production away. Y'all got to start from scratch. We need to bring in a whole new team for this show because, baby, this went left quickly and y'all never was able to get it back. Let me tell you something. The KKK can't write a better season. Let me tell you something. The Klan was probably looking at this season like, well, damn, this is some good writing, right? Ciao. Anyway, let's get into after the final rose. Emmanuel. Why was his clothing so tight? Like everything was like so medium. Like just I felt like if he because his arms were like this the whole time because I feel like he couldn't open them any wider. And I feel like if he opens his arms, like everything will like rip off like he's a WWE. Like, you know, them rip off outfits that them wrestlers wear. I felt like that would probably happen to him because, like, Emmanuel, listen, bro, you're clearly like a double XL, maybe a triple with those muscles. Why were you wearing like this baby Gap Easter suit? It was so tight for no reason. There was no reason his entire, even the turtleneck was tight. And turtlenecks are supposed to be fitting. I was like, will somebody please go and cut the back of Emmanuel's turtleneck before this man pass out? The clothes, it was just uncomfortably tight. All of his stuff. Hold on, we got a super chat from J Cheer 1. Hey, baby. J Cheer 1 said, Matt has some nerve talking about Rachel K not getting his struggle as a black man. Matt didn't know he was a black man until Rachel Lindsay told him. Thank you for the super chat. The way Rachel Lindsay has carried this entire franchise on her back, oh my God, they can't pay her enough. They can't pay her enough. But back to Emmanuel's extra medium baby Gap Easter suit. Just baby, it was uncomfortably tight. It did not need to be that tight. He honestly looked like the Hulk in the middle of hulking, but like he got froze like halfway. Like before everything rips, he just stopped. That's what it looked like, baby. You got muscles. We see it. You do not have to wear like this. I don't know if it's lycra or spandex suit. Like we see you buff, boo. We see the muscles. We get it. Oh my goodness. If you were wearing like a appropriate size suit, we will still see the muscles. Men are just, they just want us to know they buff. They just want us to see it. We see it, Emmanuel. We see it. So we start off with Michelle, who looks great. She looks great. I will say my only thing is that the eyebrows were a little aggressive. I feel like the makeup, whoever did the makeup did a good job, but they went a little too far, with the eyebrows. It was real 1983 with them eyebrows, real Brooke Shields in her heyday. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. Why are we dressing her like a widow? But other than that, she looked great, stunning. Michelle's a gorgeous girl. But we found out that Michelle was tight about Matt, right? I thought she was just tight because homeboy cut her. Who wouldn't be? Like, you cut me at the last minute after like gaslighting me this whole season. Who wouldn't? But what she was really tight about was she asked to speak to him and he told her no. She was just like, I was crying and the producer was in there with me. They saw what I was going through. And then I asked to speak to you and you turned me down. He didn't want to face you. You a lot like your child. You a lot like the parent you've been dragging, bro. He didn't want to face you because he knew what he did to you was wrong. So he'd rather walk away and abandon Michelle in the pain that he has caused her than deal with it. I'm so glad you didn't propose because, baby, you need some work. You need some work because that was wrong. Like if the girl is like travailing, crying, broken over something that you did, and all she asks is to speak to you, you say no. But when it was on camera, it was okay. Problematic. I will say this though, Michelle, and just women in general. I'm speaking to myself. We got to stop wanting closure from men, especially raggedy men who did us dirty. Don't get no closure from that fool. Walk away, let him sit in the foolishness that he created and you prosper. Because he ain't never going to forget how he did you. Especially when he sees the woman you become without him. He always going to remember that. Go Go on with your life and prosper. Don't get no closure from these men because they don't do closure. Period. They know they messed up. They don't want to face it. Walk away, girl. You didn't need no closure from him. You got the closure when he said, "I can't get there with you." That was it. You didn't need anything else from him. But Matt eventually comes out. The beard is growing on me. Got a little excited. Not gonna lie, got a little excited when he walked out with that beard. I was like, welcome home. He looked cute. I like the beard. But again, I am from Philly and we love a meaty, fluffy Beanie Siegel beard. So that might be what I'm seeing, but I liked it. I thought it was really cute. I thought he looked cute. He looked cute. Man, are you getting high? Did you see his eyes? I was like, man, oh Lord, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is not the Black experience. Oh, child. He looked a little high. But I like that, Michelle, even though I don't think she needed the closure, she finally got the little closure because Matt apologized and he said, "I didn't know." BS, Matt. I didn't know that you wanted to talk to me. How did you not know that she wanted to talk to you if you said no to the producers who were trying to get you to speak with her? So you knew, you didn't care, or you did not want to face her because you knew that what you did was wrong. But, they were able to make up. She gave him a cute little drag. She said, moving forward, make sure you learn to kiss with your eyes closed and make sure you get more words in your vocabulary than, what was it? Thank you for sharing. Read them, girl. Read them. We got a super chat from B. Oh, because I said so. Okay. Because I said so said, do you think that Michelle's season could be the first season to travel again since it's a bit further out? Absolutely. That would be the only reason to tune in. Not saying that Michelle isn't interesting, but we'll get into that. Yeah, I think she's going to travel. Good for her. And they better give her the Bachelor budget. Thank you so much for the super chat because I said so. So then we're done with Michelle, and then Matt sits down with Emmanuel. Uncomfortable conversations with the Black man, featuring another Negro. So, Matt, I don't know. Y'all let me know. This is for me the first time I've ever heard Matt identify as Black. When he said that, as a Black man, my eyebrows went up. I was like, I thought, and now let me be very clear. I don't think that he is denying his white mother or, the fact that he is biracial. But remember, guys, leading up to this, Matt always let us know that his mom is white and that he is, mixed race biracial. He always identified as that. This was the first time I've ever heard Matt say that he was a Black man. Wow, you got your wake-up call on The Bachelor. Ouch. Woo. Anyway, Angela Lewis gave your girl a super chat. Angela said, "Hey, Nikki, this wasn't The Bachelor. It was a show answering Malcolm's questions. Who taught you to hate yourself?" Child, we getting spicy in these comment sections. You better read, Angela. Let them know. That's exactly what that was. But yeah, like for me, I was like, oh, okay. And I feel bad. And I can feel that way. I'm not even going to justify me feeling bad. I feel bad because this experience made him identify as Black. Oh, there's so many other great Black experiences, but this is, one of them, right? And I don't think it made him, but I think he kind of realized how he walks through this world, through this process. And it was the first time that I've ever heard him say that. Now, he could have said it before. I'm saying this for me in my house. This is the first time I heard him identify as a Black man. Because he was the first thing he said was, as a Black man, I'm going to be real with you. Oh, okay. Like my mom. All right, Matt. he had I feel like the Bachelor process for him was kind of like, not on the same level, but I felt like it was like Meghan Markle with the royals, because before, Meghan Markle was able to identify a certain way, right? But she got the Black experience. And it's so upsetting that there will always be just hateful people who will always make biracial or multiracial people feel, especially multi or biracial people who have Black or African ancestry, always make them feel like they are less than, like always trying to put them in their place, right? Because with Meghan Markle, that, not even, she had more than one drop, but the fact that her mother is Black, even though she doesn't fully present that way to me, I feel like at certain times I don't see, me and Meghan, right? But there are a lot of people who are just like, oh no, she's a Black woman. I'm just like, is she? I'm a Black woman, right? And not because of just my skin color. I'm a Black woman because of my skin color, because of my features. I walk through this world as a Black woman. Meghan Markle doesn't walk through the world as a Black woman, but to people who hate Black people, she does, right? And she found out real quickly, but again, sis, you married into like the face of colonialism. I don't know how you were shocked, but again, I walked through the world Black. Maybe you just had a different experience, so you were shocked by what happened to you. Nikki wouldn't have been. But I think that when that happened to her, she was not able to hear about the Black experience from her mom. She was able to now feel it. And the feeling changes everything. Because now you can really identify, especially when the danger that happens to Black people or comes with Black people because of the color of their skin is now going to be put on your child. Oh, it changed real quickly for her. And I think with Matt, going through the process was one thing. Living after the process and experiencing life after the process was a whole nother experience. And I think that was the Black experience for him. I think he never fully had to identify with that, or never really felt comfortable identifying like that, because he was for him living in, his identity, right? But this show treated him as if he was just one identity. And that experience, and this experience of the show, treated him as if he were one identity. And I think, like, when you wake up to that, there's no turning back. Before I go on, I have a super chat from Tanai. Tanai said, off topic, but Nikki, you got to check out the show Temptation Island. You would think it's hilarious, a show about couples being tempted by singles. I used to watch that back in the day. Guys, Temptation Island has been out for a very, very long time. And then it went away and then it came back. Like, I used to watch it religiously when it was out the first time. I think it was on a different network. And then it went away for a while and then it came back, and I just didn't get back into it when it came back. Thank you, Tanai. I'll definitely check it out again. Is it on the USA Network? Let me know. But it's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate that Matt got his wake-up call at damn near 30, because a lot of us, we got our wake-up call real young. Child. So unfortunately, we know how to deal with the Black experience a little better than somebody who's figuring it out at 40 or almost 30. It's a totally different experience, and it's I can only imagine the shock and the pain. It's a lot. Rachel may not understand what it's like to be Black in America, because Emmanuel asked him, so, what's going on with you and Rachel? And Matt let him know that he and Rachel are no longer together. But they show pics of him and Rachel after the show ended, right? Matt, those pictures with you and Rachel look real recent. So did you find out about Rachel attending plantation parties yesterday? Or did you just make the decision to no longer be with her after you felt like she just wasn't getting there quick enough after the outrage? Because it appeared to me as if we just started seeing Matt with this beard. We just started seeing Matt with this beard, but we've been saw Rachel at that plantation party. So I'm like, did you just break up with her? Or did you break up with her as soon as you found out? Because have Matt tell it, it seems like it was a process. It was a process of, I got to be real with you, Matt, outrage and backlash from a lot of the fan base and press. I think that was probably the turning point for him, because he even said that when he heard her explanation, he just wanted to hear a bit more. He really, when he sat down with Rachel Lindsay, he kind of got it. I think when he sat down with Rachel Lindsay and his brother, he probably kind of got it, and it was just like, right now I just can't be with this person, because those pictures look recent, and I was just like, we got together yesterday. It just looked too recent for me. It looked way too recent. Before I go on, hey, Pepe gave you a girl a super chat. Pepe said, I still don't see it for him. His brother clearly knows he's black. Matt simply rejected his blackness. His dad is straight from the motherland, for goodness sake. Last night was Basura. Love you, Nikki. Love you too, Pepe. Listen, I can't take that opinion from you. That's what Pepe saw watching this. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. Thank you, Pepe, for the super chat. I just, from what I saw with Matt and Rachel, I was just like, this looks a little recent. So the math wasn't mathing for me. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie, hold on, let me get it. Jamie said Megan looked a smidge more black when she was younger. Yeah, I think she processes her hair to keep it straight. You know what? Totally off topic. I wonder if Meg's daughter has her curls, will she keep her hair straight? I wonder. Anyway, Jamie said before she straightened her hair and particularly touched up her nose, I think she just lost weight. Because as somebody who has a very wide nose, when I lose weight, this thing slims. It really, really does. So that maybe that could be it. But you know what? Who knows? Thank you so much, Jamie, I'm trying to like it. Thank you so much, Jamie, for the Venmo. Love you. Love you. So yeah, I just thought that Matt's pictures with Rachel looked really recent, because I was just like, I thought y'all broke up, but okay. But Matt says that he basically had to break up with Rachel because after he saw the plantation party and had a couple conversations, I'm guessing, with Rachel Lindsay and his brother, and probably other black people that he started reaching out to, probably Dale. I think he then realized that, well, I don't think he said, he then realized that if that's something that you're doing in 2018, then you cannot possibly be with me as a black man. He just kept on calling himself a black man. I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with it, but I was just like, wow, what a journey. What a journey from the first episode to hear Matt say this white woman can't be on this journey with me as a black man if she was attending plantation parties in 2018. Who the hell is this? Who is this? This ain't the Matt we met. This is not the Matt we met on day one. I am shocked. I am so shocked. Not in a bad way, but I'm like, wow, this has been a journey for you, bro. This has been a journey for you, because I absolutely agree with him. That's the thing. I don't, because Rachel, she comes out or whatever, and, Emmanuel was just like, can you be with her or whatever? Like, Rachel, of course, she atones for what she did. She doesn't think that anything that she did was right. But Matt is just like, I get it, but I can't be with you. And Rachel wants to be with Matt right away. And Matt is just like, it can't happen. You have to do the work. I'm going to give you that space to do the work. And Rachel wants a time. She wants to know when they can be back together again, because she says she loves him and she doesn't feel this way about anybody else. That's great, right? But I think going back to desegregation, I think because of that, right, we have people who are in spaces with people of different cultures, different identities, and you think that attraction is enough, that love is enough, that sex is enough. When it comes to an interracial or intercultural relationship, I don't think people realize how much work goes into that, especially when you come when you are a part of a relationship where one culture is responsible for the genocide of the other culture, I don't think that, especially, my generation and younger, are aware of how much work goes into trying to make a relationship like that work. That's a lot of work. There is a lot to unpack. There's so much learning. Relationships are difficult enough, right? But then you throw in different cultures, different customs, different languages, different understandings. There's a lot of work that you have to do on top of just having a normal relationship. Then, when you're in a relationship where one partner is white and one partner is black, there's another layer of work that has to be done that society hasn't even done. So you two are doing this in this relationship and also having to prepare to constantly be in battle over your relationship outside the world. So together inside, y'all got a great time. Y'all have a great time. Y'all probably still have these uncomfortable conversations, but when you leave, you got to suit up for battle, because somebody or everybody from either culture or society in general is coming for this relationship, because it represents a lot of pain for a lot of people. There's no time on that, Rachel. Even if he feels like you've done the work and you get it, who knows if he's still going to want to be with you after that, because it's still the stain of you thinking plantation parties were okay in 2018. You were good and grown. It wasn't your parents taking you to a plantation party as a newborn. He can't trust you. That's very difficult for a Black person to be in a relationship with a white person who has done racist things not only in the past, but a very recent past. The trust is not going to be there. And I don't think you can ever work up to that, because at some point you thought that something so vile was okay. Something that was was very, like, greatly disrespectful to my people. Like, I can never I can forgive it, but I don't think that I could be in a relationship with you. It's just like, not just like, but as an example, it's like when somebody cheats on another partner and their partner in a relationship. It's just like, I can forgive you, I love you, but I can't trust you because you did that. So I don't ever want to live with that fear and just anxiety that you might do it again. Even if you apologize, even if you change your ways, even if there's not even an inkling of that, deceiver left in you, it's still sitting with me and I can't get past it. So we can't move forward in this relationship. Like, Rachel is expecting a time, like in 4 months. Okay, girl, I don't think from the way Matt is starting to go, from the looks of him, I don't think you're ever getting him back. I don't think a white woman is ever getting him back, to be quite honest with you. But kind of kidding. But I don't think that this is just going to work. There's too much. And the thing about it, Rachel, she apologized. I told you before, she did a great, she should have helped Chris Harrison apologize. Her apology was great. Even her follow-up after that, chastising people who were accepting her apology who were not Black. I thought that was great of her to do. Before I go on, Tiffany Clark gave your girl a super chat. Tiffany Clark said, I think Rachel gave Matt the perfect out. Matt was never ready to be in a relationship. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tiffany. I think she gave a great apology. I do think that she felt bad for what she did, and also felt bad because of the backlash that came from it, right? You were, 21, 22 when you went to that plantation party, and to sit on here and say, on this worldwide stage, and say, I didn't know that it was wrong at the time. BS, mama. It's Basura. I would have been okay. Not okay, but I would have accepted it, because it was the truth. If you said, I didn't care that I was offending Black people. It was very wrong of me to feel that way. And I understand it a bit more now. But in that moment, I knew what the party represented, and I did not care about the people that it hurt. I think there's more forgiving and healing and just pure honesty than giving us this little PR statement of, I had no idea it was wrong at the time. There's no way you had no idea it was wrong at the time, because the party wasn't even supposed to happen because it was banned. So you and everybody there knew it was wrong, because there had already been Black students at that same university fighting for those shows, for those parties to be canceled and not allowed on school grounds. So you knew you didn't care about the people that were going to be hurt by that, because you don't care for those people. And that might have changed with you through Matt. But at the time, you did not care about the people that you were hurting, because those people to you did not matter. That's why you did it. That's why you took pictures and had a great time and wanted memories from that, because that's how you felt and that's what you believed. I would have been able to receive you if you just said that. Not like that, but if you just said, I didn't care. I didn't care who I was hurting. It was something that we all do. We all know it's wrong, but we didn't care about the people we were offending. And I've come to find out that that's wrong. And I hate that that was a part of my thinking. It was sick, and I am sorry. I will never do anything like that again. And I totally understand if this man never wants to be with me, because my mind in 2018 was completely warped with hate, warped with lack of sympathy and empathy. Like, I don't know. If she would have just been honest, I think it would have went a lot better for her. Anika, thank you, Anika, for the super chat. Anika said, hey, Nick Nack, never watched an episode of the show, but your bomb reviews have made each season so entertaining. Love you in Delaware. Love you too, sis. Thank you so much. So, I would have, I think she probably would have been received better, but to still give the PR of, I didn't know. There's no way you don't know. I'm sorry. There's no way you don't know when you're wearing blackface. There's no way you don't know that that's wrong. There's no way you don't know that it's wrong to attend a freaking plantation party and celebrate the Old South. I'm sorry. You know what you're doing. You don't care about the people you're harming, because this world don't care about the people that they're harming. We all know how this nation alone treats Black people. Let's be real. Let's be real. Which is why there are, people who commit crimes and blame Black people, because they know that we'll be proven guilty before we're even proven innocent, even if we are. So you know what you're doing when you say a Black man did it. You know what you're doing when you're calling the cops on Black people for just existing. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing when you're saying that Black woman at your job has a tone. You know what you're doing. So now, Rachel, Matt has gaslit you the whole season, but baby, now you gaslighting his people. You knew. Just say that. Like, dag, I could receive it better, because then you have admitted the problem, and now we can get to work. But if you're going to keep on evading the truth, that lets me know that you know, but you don't want to be held accountable for that. So whatever was poison within you is still there because you're protecting it. So we can't move forward. You knew, sis. You knew. So anyway, while Rachel is trying to get back with Matt, Emmanuel was just like, so what do you say to all of that, Matt, when Rachel's apologizing for everything that she's done or whatever? Let me tell you something. I don't know how long this pause was in the studio. It was very long watching it. This pause that Matt took was so long that you could hear the central air. That central air in that room, in that studio, baby, that stuff was blowing hard. Because that's all you could hear. You couldn't even hear anybody on that stage breathing. You just heard the central air. And I was just like, is anybody going to say anything? Eventually, Matt does say something, and basically it's just like, Rachel, do the work. Like, I'm not giving you a time. I think he just probably didn't want to say there's no hope. But he just was just like, do the work. Do the work. Because he was just like, I can't be with you, because if you're thinking that that's okay in 2018, now I got to think about what kind of mother you will be to our kids. Fair. Extremely fair. How you going to raise Black children? Because let me tell you something. Genetics is something else. You couldn't have told me that Matt had a white mama. We don't know how them kids are going to turn out. So he's thinking, are you going to favor one of our children if they come out lighter over our children who, takes from me and my dad? Like, what's going to come from that? If I got to think about those things, I don't need to be with you. I should never have to think that about my partner who I want to be with for the rest of my life. But let's be real, Matt, you wasn't looking for her or any woman to be a mother or a wife. You still gaslighting, bro. We on your side, but you still lying. You still lying. Basically, Matt was just like, you have no idea what this journey is like, being a white partner or being, with a Black man. He kept on calling himself Black. Rachel Lindsay is doing the Lord's work. Y'all can't pay that woman enough. So Rachel is left crying. Sundowntown Rachel is left crying, looking for a time for Matt. And Matt is just not going to give it to her. So after a really long pause, Emmanuel is just like, okay, well, let's meet our new bachelorette. Throw this whole show away. My God. This was really, you're right, Emmanuel. This was an uncomfortable conversation with you. After the final rose was uncomfortable. So then we get Michelle and Katie coming out as the new bachelorettes. Who did Katie's makeup? They added 20 years to her life. I hope whoever did her makeup, no shade, not everybody can beat a face like Kevin or Quinn. But I hope you don't do her makeup for the show. Poor child, you added 20 years onto that woman. I was like, is this Katie in the future? At her kid's graduation? Like, what the hell? But Katie and Michelle come out. They're like, we're your new bachelorettes. They should have had the bachelorette reveal happen on like Good Morning America. Because this was just not the space to give us, to reveal the new bachelorette. It was such an uncomfortable show. And then it's just like, hey, let's lighten up the mood. You can't. We were just talking about plantation parties, and now you want us to be like, yay, we get 2 bachelorettes. It just, bad timing. But Katie and Michelle are the new bachelorettes. I'm not excited. Y'all know I wanted it to either be Abigail or Bree. I never get my picks. I got Claire, but that didn't work out. And Tay, that didn't work out. So, maybe they don't need to listen to me anyway about the bachelorette picks. But I'm not excited about either one of them. I'm sorry. I don't feel like they can. Being a lead is such a huge role. And as you see with this show, they be throwing anybody in this position, and it does not necessarily work. You have to have somebody who can keep an audience. And guys, you have to have somebody who can keep an audience after a pandemic. You got to give me somebody that I want to watch when I'm on, when I'm swinging in a hammock in Tulum. You got to want me. I have to want to be on my phone watching this season in my hammock in Tulum. You got to be somebody that Tulum, Mexico. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You have to be somebody that I want to watch at the airport while I'm waiting for my flight to go to Greece. If you're not that interesting, I'll wait to binge it on Hulu. They don't give me that. Abigail, I would tune in. Bree, I would tune in. But I would for sure tune in for Abigail. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we didn't get that. It's fortunate for Katie and Michelle. I hope you guys have great seasons. We're having 2 bachelorette seasons. Yay. We're having Katie in the summer, and then we're having Michelle in the fall. Double the content. These Awards better be interesting. I can't promise y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, I got to see the trailer. I got to see the men. I need for the men to be hot. I need for the men to be messy. I need for it to be some twists and turns for me to tune in because I'm going to be in them streets. I'm going to be in them vaccinated streets. So they have to be important enough for me to want to take 2 hours out of my Monday when I could be at happy hour at some rooftop bar talking up some vaccinated men. You got to be interesting enough to get me out of that to want to sit home on a Monday night to watch this show. I don't feel like they got it. I have been wrong before. Not a lot, but I have been wrong before. So we will see. We will see. But they've given us 2 Bachelorette seasons. I don't think we need to. I think they should have just picked one or the other, because what's going to happen is they're going to give us these 2 long, drawn-out seasons with these dry leads when they could have just given us a super-duper extra-long paradise. Why do you fools not realize that's your best show? That is your best show. I don't get why you all are so invested in The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. That is Paradise is your best show. This season, we're going to have diversity, hot people, messy people. I'm ready. But you're going to give us a 6-week-long show and going to give us 2 Bachelorette seasons. Thank you. Can't wait. Ciao. I'm going to be in them streets. So I'm going to tell you right now, I can't promise y'all. I cannot promise y'all that I'm going to watch those shows. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to be in, especially in the summer. You think I'm not going to be in them vaccinated summer streets? You think I'm going to be waiting for Katie on a Monday night? Girl, don't expect it. Anyway, if you are just here for the review, beloveds, it ends right now. Oh, you know what? Real quick, Emmanuel. Let's talk about him. Sorry for the people who are leaving because I ended the review. Emmanuel. It's a no for me with Emmanuel. It's a no for me. Michael Strahan, in my opinion, would have been better. I feel like Chris Harrison left big shoes to fill. Emmanuel couldn't do it. He was dry boots. I think he works for his show, the Uncomfortable Conversations. I think that's why they picked him. But as a host of After the Final Rose, he was just real dry boots for me. I didn't feel like he helped the conversation in any way. I don't feel like he guided it in a way where I was able to, go, oh, wow, good question, Emmanuel. I wasn't wowed. I really wasn't. And no shit, Emmanuel, just for this show. I'm just talking about for, The Bachelor. I think we need somebody who's a seasoned TV show host, somebody who's a comedian who is used to commanding large crowds, or we just need a familiar face from Bachelor Nation. I think that's, if we're not going to go with Chris Harrison, I think that needs to be where the show is going to go from here on out. Chris Harrison still has a shot. He still could come back. He just needs to lay low. I think every time he speaks, he makes it worse for himself. I think he just needs to lay low because there's going to be something more drastic happening. There's probably going to be some more mess coming out about Bachelor Nation that won't have to do with race, because I feel like there's going to be some, I feel like misogyny is on the horizon. But right after racism, misogyny is always there. Misogyny is like racism's twin, just right in, his distant twin, just waiting, for racism to get beat up enough to just jump on and be like, hey, here I go. So misogyny is on the horizon. So I think if Chris Harrison, I hope the misogyny ain't geared towards you, bro. If there's some stuff that comes out of it about Chris Harrison and, being inappropriate with the women, he's done, right? But if not, just chill. Just sit out for a minute, right? Let us forget, not us, but enough people will forget and move on. Enough people still like you. Lay low, bro. Shh. Lay low. I will say this though. If Tay and Kristen do a good job, I wonder, are they going to be hosting together or on different seasons? If they do a good job with The Bachelorette, I'm telling you right now, you lost that role. You lost that role. If they do a great job hosting The Bachelorette, you're not getting that check back. You see how sick racism is? Racism will make you risk it all. Risk it all for your wrong, evil opinion. This man was getting paid. 20 years on this job, 4 shows, and then additional spinoffs. He was getting paid. You risk that whole check to defend somebody attending a plantation party. Racism is so evil that this man is willing to risk his livelihood to defend some racist bull. Welcome to America. Yeah, but if Tay and Kristen do a good job, Chris Harrison, baby, you in danger, girl. You are in danger. I'm proud of you, Tay. I was a little stressed out with you on your season because I just felt like you weren't moving smart, but I feel like you're waking up. I'm proud of you, girl. We got a super chat from Jay Cheer. Jay Cheer said, hell, I wasn't interested in Michelle on this show. No shade, Michelle. No shade, but shade. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jay Cheer. And I got another super chat from Angela. Angela said, do you think the producers wanted to see a final embrace between Rachel and Matt, or was that Emmanuel's call? That was Emmanuel. I told you, I'm not his audience. I'm not Emmanuel's audience. Okay? We know who those uncomfortable conversations are for. It ain't me. I'm not his audience. That was Emmanuel. Because as you can see, Emmanuel encouraged Rachel and Matt to do a lot of embracing. Matt didn't want to do that. Because if you notice, every time Rachel grabbed for Matt, he would let her hold his arm and hold his hand for a while, and then he would take it back. She kept on grabbing for it. He would take it back. He's out. I think Matt is out. I don't know if Rachel got a chance of getting him back. Girl, had we been at the beginning of the season, I would have said you had a shot. Now, I don't know, mama. I do not know. Anyway, let's get into the chit-chatter. You guys will hear my stomach. I have not eaten. Pray for me. I'm trying to start eating early. I don't know why. I can't eat until 12 or 2. I don't. Anyway, let me see what y'all are saying. Again, I don't know if I did this, but thank you, Angela. Nicole, hey, Nicole Taylor. Nicole Taylor said, off topic, but I just saw Puppy. Damn. If you watch my Love After Lockup reviews, Puppy from Love After Lockup just got arrested. She want to go back home. She want to go back to a place where she feels safe and wanted. Prison. Oh yes, I say hi to my moderators. Shout out to my moderators, Black Lavender, Tony, Tracy. Show them some love, guys. Is Shonda here? Show them some love. I couldn't do this without them. Hey, Tiffany and Co. Tiffany and Co said Matt is done. Talking about he's done with Rachel. He cuts women off and moves on fast. He sure does. Miss Nandy Marie said, are we taking Stacey Dash back? Absolutely not. L Boogie said, I'm not at all excited for the Bachelorette season. I'm not either. But a lot of people like Katie. A lot of people are here for Michelle. I don't have anything against them. I just don't think they can compete with outside. They can't compete with outside. I just don't think they can. Abigail could compete with outside. Michelle and Katie can't compete with them vaccinated streets. They can't. Claude said, I love your show, Nikki. I will be supportive as I learn. I believe that's what you said, Claude. Thank you, Claude. Oh wait, I got a super chat from Zora. Oh, thank you. Thank you, moderators. Zora S said Emmanuel A was shucking and jiving on After the Final Rose. Thank you, Zora. I will say this, Zora, I have to disagree. I don't think he was shucking and jiving. I'm not going to explain what shucking and jiving is if you don't know. I think that's who he is. Emmanuel was raised in a white community. I think that's why he's able to have those uncomfortable conversations with white people, because he's been doing it his whole life. Um, I don't think that he was playing to white people. I think that that's just been his audience for so long. He knows how to have the conversation. I told you guys before, I'm not the black person to have that conversation with. You're not going to have no uncomfortable conversation with me about race. Hell no. We're not doing that. I said that I can have the conversation after you've talked to Emmanuel and you've been, you've got your head on right, and you can't be a Sharon Osbourne with me. I'm not going to be a Cheryl Underwood with you and be like, you're my friend. I'm going to be like, who you talking to? Not me, right? So I just don't have those uncomfortable conversations with people about race. I'm the one that you can talk to when you're ready to do the work. Then that's me. That's the type of black I am. Then we can have that conversation. It's just like, okay, so what do I do now? Oh, good. Let me tell you. We can do that, right? But I'm not the one that you can say, well, all black men do abandon their families. You can't talk to me. You can't talk to me. So I'm not that one. Emmanuel is. And he doesn't have to be. Like I said before, it is not the job of the oppressed to inform the oppressor about what they're doing to them. The oppressor knows, right? Emmanuel, he has volunteered himself to do that. Okay, good for you, bro. Have that conversation. I'm not his audience, and that's fine. But there are black people out there, not a lot. Emmanuel is few and far in between, who will have that conversation with white people, who will be able to take the uncomfortability and, either not digest it or digest it and, refuel it out to them in a way that they can understand. I don't understand or know his process, but I know that I'm not his intended audience. But I don't think he was shucking and jiving. I just think that he could easily do that because he's been doing that his whole life. Simply Simone said, can we talk about these voiceovers from Chris Harrison? I told you he was like the ghost of Christmas past. They just popped him in weird places, and it was just like, whoo, child. I'm telling you, if the audience likes, if all of Bachelor Nation, it's very divided right now. If all of Bachelor Nation, old and new, will get behind Tay and Kristen as the host of this show, he is in danger. He's already in danger of not coming back. But if these new people do his job and do it better, he's not in danger for after the final rose. I don't think that Emmanuel is able to catch him in hosting that by far. But if he does a good job at the Bachelorette, if Katie and Tay, they do a good job, he's not getting that role back. Damn it. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm telling y'all don't know how much money you can make in TV. You guys have no idea how much money this man was making. Damn. Racism is something else. Racism is something else. He's been working his job for 20 years. I'm telling you, you know what? Let me get a guesstimation. Because right now I'm thinking he was at least taking home 20 mil a year. At least. Damn. He receives $8 million per show. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. $8 million per show. You're an idiot. Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. You're an idiot. I would have been like, if me and Rachel Lindsay talking right now, do you think that what Rachel Sundown Rachel did was awful? Absolutely. I can't believe it. I'm outraged. And I'm not black. I'm a white man, and I was still very shocked. The racism in this world is wrong. You don't even know how to apologize. $8 million. I'm about to throw this damn laptop. $8 million a season. You're an idiot. $8 million a season. Chris, I'm crying for you. I'm crying for $8 million a season. You don't even know how I apologize. Baby, I would be on Good Morning America crying, my clothes ripped, walking around Hollywood Boulevard, whipping myself. Shame, shame. No, don't stop me. I've upset the Black community. I want to die. Chris, put the knife down. No. Sorry. I'm sorry to the Black community. You're an idiot. You're an $8 million in that. That racism is like heroin. That racism is like, it gotta be as addictive as heroin. It has to be. $8 million. Child, I would be on TV punching myself in the face. No, don't tell me to stop beating myself up. I can't believe I did that to the Black community. Forgive me. I had just did some coke. I have an addiction. I'm going to rehab. You're a fool. You're a fool. I'm an imperfect man, baby. I would have been whipping myself on Good Morning America. No, Michael, don't tell me to stop. I hurt the Black community. I'm sorry. Harriet Tubman, forgive me. Woke culture, cancel, all of that stuff. Boy, bye. I would have said nothing about them. Child. I would have funded the NAACP awards. I would be like, y'all don't have to pay for nothing. I would have sent like 30 Black kids to college. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. $8 million an episode. Guys, I'm freaking out because we're not even counting residuals. We're not even counting residuals. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And you're going to let these two women walk up on your show and take one of your $8 million checks. I'm telling you right now, if you think this show is not trying to find a way to replace that man, because he has been with this show for 20 years, right? They're paying him definitely on the front end and on the back end, plus residuals. If you don't think that they're trying to find a way, like right now, they're negotiating, or they've already negotiated with Katie and is her name Kate? Kate and Tay. They not paying them nowhere near to what they was paying that man. So they're getting a good, what? $8.5 million, not even $8.5 million. No, $7.5 million back into their show. You think they're going to try to save that man's job? You Karens better complain a little louder. You Karens better complain a little louder. He not coming back. 8 million. Anyway, let me move on. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. He's getting $8 million a season, right? He got to be getting $2 to $3 million in residuals. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I knew he was getting like $20 million. $20 million a freaking year. That's not even counting residuals. You're a fool. You're a fool. You're a fool. This show is getting $7.5 million back. You think they're going to try to save you? You think them executives is looking at the budget now like, for 2 bachelorettes, we're getting back $7.5 million back. Hell with the Karens. We're going to keep these two. Nobody like Katie and Tay Tay ain't on his level. They ain't been with the show for 20 years. Tay Tay, you better get that coin. You better run it up. You better run that coin up. You better run that coin up. And you and Katie, I'm telling you right now, shows are always trying to find a way to cheapen the deal. You, Tay Tay, you better go to work. Period. Ryan Seacrest, Google him. Look how he started. Go to work. Go to work, Tay Tay. Go to work. No shade, Katie. I don't know you like that. I'm rooting for Tay Tay. Go to work, Tay Tay. Go to work. Go to work. Hey, Lori. Hey, Bree3. Bree53 said, I don't give an F about Rachel or Matt. I blame him for not asking the necessary questions. Absolutely. He probably never thought to, right? Because he never identified. Well, I'm saying, in my opinion, from what I've seen, he's never identified as Black. So he probably never felt like he had to ask those uncomfortable conversations, Matt's uncomfortable conversations with a white woman. He probably never had to do that until today, until now. Tiff and Co said for $8 million, I would have became Dr. Umar. Baby, I'm telling you, I would have pulled so many stunts, beating myself. Shame. Black community, I'm sorry. I would have been working with civil rights leaders, starting a campaign to make sure that the African American community gets their reparations today. I would be on my Instagram live talking about where are there 40 acres in a mule? You're an idiot. You don't even know how to apologize. Not a year, a season. 3 shows. He does 3 shows. 3 shows a year. Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Ivana Jane said, if he's a producer, he's not going to be suffering. That's very true. You're very right, Ivana. If they take him off as a host, he loses that $8 million as a host. That does not mean that he won't lose money as a producer. But I'm thinking they're probably going to replace him as well because he's not an EP, right? I think they're probably going to remove him from that as well because there's no way that he's not going to show up to work with a grudge. There's no way that he's not going to be producing on that show and not be pissed off that he let that $8 million go and somebody else is doing his job. They're going to have to remove him all the way around because it's impossible. It's impossible for him to show up and not be pissed. He cannot do the work as a producer and not be, butthurt about losing that hosting position. So they probably might, if they remove him, they're removing him all the way through and through. The network is going to cut him a nice check and he's done. $8 million a season. Not even counting residuals. Guys, y'all know how good residuals are? I just stopped living off of my residuals. I still get something from it, but it's not a lot. But I just stopped being able to comfortably live off of my residuals from Adam Ruins Everything. Y'all don't know about them residuals. Y'all don't know about them residuals. You're a fool. You're $8 million. You know what? Let me tell you something. White executives, can y'all please start giving out Black people these jobs? There ain't no way I'm messing up an $8 million check. There ain't no way I'm messing up an $8 million. Come on. Trust me with that money. I promise you, ABC, you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. You won't ever have to worry about something from me. Nope. I know how to apologize. Imagine the ratings bonuses. You're right, LM. You're right. Nellie said, racism is addicting. It took the owner of Chick-fil-A 2 months to stop saying the N-word. No, it wasn't Chick-fil-A. It was Papa John's. He had to get therapy for saying the N-word. It took him 2 months to get it out of his vocabulary. I was like, well, who the hell are you, Snoop Dogg? You needed 2 months of therapy to stop saying the N-word? Wow, sir. You're never getting back on that executive board. He's out of his damn mind. He was high in that interview. Out of his eyes, bloodshot, hair just sweating. He's just sweating bullets talking to them people. I'm like, he is high out of his mind right now. How much coke did he do? Probably enough coke to put Scarface to shame. They're never letting him back on that Papa John's executive board. Never. If they don't remove him, I just don't think there's if he doesn't remain the host, I don't think there's any way he could remain as a producer. There's no way. And y'all also realize the network bought the show. So they hire the production company. Even if it's your idea, Mike's idea, he sold it to ABC. He can't take it anywhere else. So ABC has the final say on who is going to host that show and who, like, they have the final say on everybody. Who's going to be a part of the crew, who's going to lead. Like, nothing goes beyond the network. Everything starts and stops there. Kaya Peters said, if that was me during that interview, I would have been Rachel K. Who's that? I don't even know her. She doesn't even go here. Oh, I got a Cash App. Thank you. Thank you from Aaliyah. Aaliyah said, you are hilarious. I love you. Thank you so much, Aaliyah. Thank you for the Cash App. Ciao. $8 million. Not a year, guys. In a season. ABC, I won't embarrass you. I won't embarrass you. I will not. Debbie said, I need Nikki on my TV all day, every day. Baby, I didn't know. I'm telling you guys, I was just guessing. I really, really was. Because I knew that he'd been on the show for 20 years. So there's no way that I don't think people realize you make more money in TV than you do in films. You just that's why I want to be on TV. I would love to be in a movie, but TV, that's why I couldn't believe, what was her name? The girl who was the lead and Fresh Off the Boat, like how she got upset that her show had been renewed. I was just like, you must really be about the art and not the coin at all. I would never be pissed off if my show was renewed. Because, especially if it's a show like if it's a show on a network like ABC, I would be elated. Yes, I would not be able to do as much as I wanted to do in other, like in films and stuff, but I know my check is going to be nice. There are literally people who you haven't seen on your TV for 20 years who are still living off of residuals from television. There is billions to be made in TV. We got a who? What we got? What we got? I heard something. Is that a Cash App? What's another Cash App? Who is this from? Didn't y'all hear some coins? Maybe it was a delayed reaction. Maybe it was a delayed reaction, but let me give Aaliyah another thank you. Thank you so much, Aaliyah. Nas B said, girl, you were so right. Rehab would have been a great get out for Chris Harrison, because he would have taken a smooth 60 days away from the franchise and claimed to be a changed man, and the return that he would get, the way the show would be like, Chris Harrison is back. It would be, oh, dude, I'm telling you, listen, even if you didn't have a little issue, I would have said something. I would have said something. I would have been like, I'm going to rehab for racism, because I have realized as a white person how sick this nation is, and the things that we have done to Black people is wrong. The show wanted me to come back to host, but I told them, no, I need to take some time off, because I realize that I have an issue, and I don't want the Black community or people of color to think that I have an issue against them. And if you all think that, I have to do right by the fans of color that I love, I'm going to get help. And I'll be back. And I'll be back as a warrior for the Black community. I am deeply sorry, Bachelor Nation. I'm sorry, Michael. I can't do this anymore. You must not need that money. You must not need that money. You's a fool. You's a fool. Caitlin, hey sis. Caitlin gave your girl a super chat. Caitlin said, a rumor contestant for Katie's season is the ex-husband of Mikkel from Ari's season. Who is that? Who is that? Thank you, Caitlin, for the tea. Who is Mikkel? Who is that? Who is that? Mikkel. Oh, Mikkel Cooper. Oh, I remember her. All these women were way too hot for Ari. Anyway, Just gotta be real. But I'm glad that he's happy with Lauren and their twins. Good for you, Ari. Shawanda, hey, Shawanda said, so will Caitlin and Tasia co-host, or will one of them be the host of Katie's season and the other of Michelle's season? I don't know. I asked her that. I have no idea. No idea. And Yarden said Chris was defending Rachel like he personally planned that party. $8 million. You got so comfortable. This is another thing. That pride will get you, because he probably thought that he could never be replaced because he had been doing the show for so long. He probably thought that show was just crafted around him. It probably was, but he just thought that he could never be replaced. One thing I've learned in Hollywood, everybody's replaceable. Everybody is replaceable. $20+ million you threw away to protect Sundown Town Rachel. Like, you was banging her. Well, you had a secret father? Like, what is going on? You threw all that. Whew, racism. I'll never understand it, but I know it's addictive. I know it is addictive. Christine C said, I just don't see it for Tasia and Caitlin. I would have preferred Rachel Lindsay. I think a lot of us would, but the racist backlash that she has received, I would never want to put her in a Constance Wu. Thank you, Kayla. I would never want to put Rachel in a position like that, because that's extremely traumatic. Oh my God. Avalon Park said Wendy Williams would be a good host for The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. They not ready for Wendy Williams. Thank you. Lily B said Ellen Pompeo is eating. Yes, she is. Gray from Grey's Anatomy, she is eating, and she will eat for the rest of her damn life. She will eat for the rest of her life. She hasn't done anything else for Grey's Anatomy. I wouldn't. The people from NCIS, I told you about my friend that she's been on the season. She's been on the show for 1 year now. Her contract just got renewed. I told her, I said, don't you ever leave that job. I don't care if you want to do something else artistically, you write it for somebody else to do. Don't you ever leave that job. You will be set for the rest of your life, baby. Ciao. Life-changing money. And that's your first season. Josie said, really? I thought it was the opposite. I thought you get paid more for movies. This is how you don't get paid more for movies, right? Because you're literally working a job. They only pay you for 4 to 6 months that the movie is shooting. You only get paid for that. Why you make more money on TV is because you are getting paid a certain amount for each episode. So if you have 12 to 22 seasons, you're getting paid for that, right? Then what happens when your show gets renewed, you get more, like sometimes double what you got paid for that first season. So every season, every renewal, your fee is like tripled every time. The money is just money over money over money. And then you're also getting residuals from those episodes rerunning and playing in different nations. And I remember one time I was struggling. Hallelujah. I'm delivered. But it was a really difficult time for me. And a show that I was on had just got picked up in like Istanbul. And and I started getting residual checks from that show being played over there. And those residuals from that show was able to like help me get by until I was able to find another job. So every time your show gets picked up and played somewhere else, you get residual checks from that. It's not what you got paid for the first season, but it's very close to that, right? And like every time, Istanbul, Brazil, Australia, you get paid for that. So you're constantly making money on TV after you have already filmed the season. For the movie, you just get paid once and that's it. Unless you are Robert Downey Jr., where Robert, he negotiated after the first Iron Man, he negotiated, I don't want no pay for this. He did the second Iron Man and I think the rest of the Iron Mans after that for free. He said, I want the back end because he saw how big the movie was, right? So the second one, he was like, don't pay me. I'll just show up and I'll do my job. I want the back end of what the studio is making. So he received a percentage off of what he made, off of what the studio made for Iron Man. So he got, probably close to $1 billion for that because we know that Iron Man was like one of the highest grossing films for a very long time. And he still did that for the rest of the Avengers and all of that stuff. Those movies, he still was negotiating back end deals, right? Like if Cap comes back to it, he could pull a Robert Downey Jr. or something like that because he's made that character so iconic. But Robert Downey Jr. was able to leave the Avengers probably because he was getting older. I mean, the man is almost 16. He was doing all those stunts and stuff. That takes a toll on your body, right? But he was able to finally make that decision to leave and have that character die out because at this point, he got money on money on money. He don't need to do anything else. He's chilling, living his best life. He doesn't need to do anything else because he will constantly be reaping money from those movies because he made a deal with the studio. So he's getting a portion of what the studio is getting as a sole person. So he's going to be fine for a very long time. He's getting money off of the characters that are being made of him, off of the figurines and all that stuff. He's getting money off of that. He's getting money off the voiceovers. Now, something like that, that's why you always want to be a part of like a franchise or something like that. So, if any actor, I can't do no stunts, but I would love to be a part of Marvel because I know if I become some kind of iconic character, I'll be able to be reaping money for a very long time because they'll always have a part of Marvel where they're doing something. So all those actors will always be working. If I can't get something like that, give me TV. Give me TV. Because I know I'm going to eat for a very long time. Ellen Pompeo don't got to do another thing. She don't have to do another thing. She's set for the rest of her life. Her baby is set for the rest of her life. If you want to get into acting, go for TV. You'll be fine. Go for TV. I can't wait for Bachelor in Paradise. Yeah, Emmanuel wasn't it for me, Sean. Chris Harrison, listen, he problematic, but he very big shoes to fill. He did a great job for 20 years. Nas B said concerning Constance Wu, she was a rising movie star and wanted to be a big name in movies, I think. I think there's an appeal to being known as a movie star that feels superior to being known as a paid TV star. Oh, there absolutely is. There absolutely is. But if you want consistency and coin and a lot of coin, you go to TV, which is why you have a lot of movie stars going to TV. But there's more. There's definitely like a popularity more with movies of being a movie star. You don't really want to be a TV star, but TV stars are still eating off of, their TV money, and movie stars, a lot of them, it's like they get that one lump sum of money and they burn through it. When you're TV, you're constantly getting paid even when you're doing nothing. Yeah, and I think she just wanted to do more movies. I understand that as an artist, I understand that, but that was not smart. I would have stayed on that show for, the thing about it is you don't even film the whole year. 6 months out of the year, you can find a movie that's filming during the summer. You could do that. It might not be all the ones you want, but if you want to become some kind of movie star, there's a way of doing it. I wish she would have went about that a totally different way because that show was making money. I told you how they treated me, and I had 4 lines. I was like, I get a trailer? Oh, y'all got money. You never get a trailer for having 4 lines. I have 4 lines, and I got a whole trailer. And the costume department pulled up to me. I'm like, I don't have to go to you guys. You're coming. Oh, okay. Hey. That's not how it works when you're not a lead. I have 4 lines, and they treated me like I was Diana freaking Ross. That show had money. They were making money hand over fist. I would have never dragged that show. Never. For a movie? Get out of here. Not no one-off. Is it a trilogy? Is it like a Lord of the Rings? Maybe. If I'm doing the Lord of the Rings where I know there's like a lot of books, okay, I may say a little something. But if it's just like a one-off movie, I'll pass. Who is Bob Guinea? Caitlin? I don't know who that is. She was on Trista's season, was a fan favorite. Oh, who's Trista? Oh, Trista and Ryan. Okay, a former Bachelor is now a TV presenter host. Great idea. I still don't recognize him, but from the description, Caitlin, I think he will be good. Give him a shot. Okay, so Simply Simone, thank you for the clarity. Simply Simone said Caitlin and Tay Tay are co-hosting the show together for both seasons. Good. Tay Tay, go to work. Go to work. Yep. First Edition B said people will literally do one series and retire for the rest of their life. What's his name? John Travolta is still eating off of Welcome Back, Kotter. He's still eating off of Welcome Back, Kotter. Baby. Dick Van Dyke is still eating off of the Dick Van Dyke Show. Y'all better get into TV. Y'all better get into TV. Baby. Nasby said both Tasia and Caitlin are down there on set quarantining for Katie's season. They will both co-host, but be called mentors for emotional support. What if, like, this show, I hope they prepare for it. What if somebody falls in love with the host? What if one of the men be like, listen, I'm starting to have feelings for Tasia. What the heck? Oh, child. You know what? I might tune in. Oh, yeah. Wendy Williams. Oh, child. I'm going to put that video up. But I talk about this in my I did a post on Sharon Osbourne. That woman was a senior member on The Talk. CBS got money on money on money. That woman was eating off of that show. Sharon Osbourne is not coming back. Sharon Osbourne is done. That woman messed up her check for Piers Morgan. I hope Piers Morgan is able to pay you. Wait, I know how much was Sharon Osbourne making? How much? Hope I spelled her name right. Oh, Bourne, you. I can't find her coins. But I guarantee you she's making close to like what Chris Harrison is making, like close. She's not, because she hasn't been on the show for 20 years, but I guarantee you she's making like close to what he's making. And, she already had money. Her and Ozzy, they already had money. But you're going to let the possibly $10 million a year check go away because you want to defend Piers Morgan. You literally get paid $10 million a year to sit on a show for 1 hour and share your wrong opinion. And you couldn't even do that. Even if, even when you heard a little pushback, you couldn't even give Cheryl sympathy. And you risk that check to defend that man who will not be paying you $10 million a year for an hour of your opinion. Foolish. Racism got to feel like crack. It has to. It is addictive. People are losing livelihood over it. Just foolish. Autumn talk show hosts are eating. Oprah Winfrey became a billionaire from a talk show. 1 hour a day, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A billionaire. Some of y'all don't like money. Some of you, I mean, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Abigail, she's kidding. She said Tiffany Pollard to host the Bachelor. She would be a good, she might be good for the talk, but I don't think they're going to put another Black person on there. I think they're going to find, what is that? You know who I think would be a good person to replace her? But I think she might have a little drinking problem. I could be wrong. But Paula Dean's replacement on the Food Network, I forget her name, but she's that lovable old grandma type baker. And she's always on the baking championship shows. She's so sweet, but she loves a little drink. She loves a little drink. I think she would be a great replacement for Sharon, but she gotta put that liquor down. She is always getting drunk on them baking championship shows. She's just like, I can taste the whiskey. I'm like, ma'am, put the drinks down. But I think she would be a good replacement. The reason why the show was on hiatus is because CBS's HR is doing an investigation. And when they investigate, they're going to find out stuff about her. So they're not going to renew this woman's contract. They're going to get rid of her. They're also taking a hiatus because they are auditioning people to replace this woman. TV is nasty. You better watch the morning show, baby. Baby. $10 million. I mean, guys, you know what I would do at this point for $50,000 a year? Okay, girl. Oh, y'all don't like money. Y'all don't like money. XOXOXOXOXOXOXOXOXOC said, I just hope they don't do the racism BS with Michelle. They're going to learn. They're going to have Black production on these shows now. Especially with Michelle. They're not going to mess this up again. They're already looking for a Black producer for Michelle's segments. There's no way. There's no way they're going to mess it up this bad again. There's no way. But I will say it worked out in the show's favor. They got $7.5 million back to the budget. Worked out for them. Oh, Mariska. Simply Simone, Mariska Hargitay. She ain't never leaving Law and Order SVU. Why? That show gonna make her a billionaire. Child, I'd be smacking around criminals every damn day too if I was her. Well, what she is making, Mariska has been on that show since, since some of our whole lives. Because I'm like, I remember being a child watching that woman on TV. It is a dream to get on a show like that. It is a dream to get on a show that has like seasons that don't go away, that is just like a part of people's everyday fabric. It is a dream because you will eat. You will eat good. Mariska probably a billionaire by now, if she's not already. Nasby said, Ellen Pompeo complained. Look at where this conversation has went now because we are dragging Chris Harrison for being so foolish. Nasby said, even Ellen Pompeo complained about how much Grey's Anatomy preventing her from doing more, though. She used the restrictions from other opportunities to get bigger checks and start directing and producing. Smart. But she never walked away from that. She never walked away from that check. Smart. Erica Marie Lee Pagan said, just saying hi, Nikki. I learned so much from you every live. I don't even watch The Bachelor. I watch you. Hope to hear about your RuPaul's Drag Race review soon. Thank you so much, Erica. I'm starting back to reviewing Drag Race this Friday. Here is why I didn't do it. When I don't do Drag Race, like on a Friday or right after that Saturday morning, the views just aren't there, and it isn't really worth my time because that show takes a lot. I would much rather do it if you guys are like interested in watching it. So I'm gonna start doing it on Friday because I feel like that's a better time for my Drag Race friends. So that Drag Race will replace Love at the Lockup. So check for me every Friday late night for Drag Race. I'm going to do a Drag Race late night review just because I'm not doing nothing on Saturday. It's not happening. So Drag Race will be late night. So for some of you guys, it'll be 1 a.m. I apologize. I'm on the West Coast, but that's when I'll be doing Drag Race. Drag Race Live right after. Lisa D. Kaplan said, alternative perspective. Not being okay with cancel culture isn't the same as being racist. We'll never have unity if this isn't understood in the bigger picture. I will say this, Lisa. I was bothered by Emmanuel and Matt saying they're not okay with cancel culture. We're not okay with cancel culture. I'm just like, what are you talking about cancel culture, right? Cancel culture is not canceling somebody for saying that they don't like cereal or that they don't like milk in their cereal, right? Nobody is really being canceled, right? I don't like the fact that people are calling racism cancel culture. People being held accountable for their racist or misogynistic things, because it only comes up when a white person is being racist, or not even a white person, when somebody is being racist towards a racist or homophobic towards a marginalized community, or just basically discriminating a marginalized community, is called cancel culture, right? Or when a man has abused a woman and he's being held accountable, it's called cancel culture. That ain't cancel culture. That's being held accountable for the horrible things that you have done to people when you were in a position of power. That is not cancel culture. Does cancel culture even really exist? I don't think so. I think that is something that is a term that was made up by people who are tired of seeing awful people being held accountable for their actions. I think honestly that really started around the Me Too movement. So and that was coming from abusers, men who sexually assault women are coming out and saying, oh, this is cancel culture. Harvey Weinstein and all his stuff is being removed because he was raping women. That's not fair. Bill Cosby is going to prison because he was raping women. That's not fair. That's cancel culture. Why are we getting rid of all of the work that he created? Because he's a rapist? And maybe he shouldn't be awarded. So I had a problem with Emmanuel using cancel culture, which again, I'm not his audience. That if I didn't think that I wasn't his audience before, that statement that he made, let me know he's not doing the work for me. The uncomfortable conversation is not for me. SL, thank you for the super chat. I don't know why I did that. SL said, just joined your live and can't stay too long, but just want to say, missed opportunity with Abigail. Love your reviews. Thank you so much. And you are so right, SL. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. Oh my God, it's 3:00. I started this at 12. God, let me get off of here. Let me get off of here so I can put up that sharing thing so we can talk about that tomorrow. Because we also got a batch chat tomorrow. Baby, we got a week. We got a week ahead of us. We got batch chat. We have Married at First Sight. Then, we have Drag Race because there's no more Love After Lockup. But there'll be other stuff. P said, but who has ever been canceled? The only two women who have been canceled are Chrisette Michele and Azealia Banks. I don't agree with Azealia Banks though, P. Azalea's still working. Azalea is still, to her, good for that. I'm not saying good for her, but I'm saying that just shows how talented she is, that she can do stuff that people are like, oh my God, so shocked by, and she still continues to work as a Black woman. That speaks to her talent. Because I can't believe she's still getting coined, but that speaks to her talent. Not saying that it's right or wrong, but I'm just like, that speaks to her talent. But yeah, Chrisette was definitely canceled. Miss Brown Sugar said, what does cancel culture mean to people? Because if someone loses their job or for failing at their job, that's called accountability. Speak. Yeah, people are never really canceled. Bree53 said, cancel culture is the same as woke police. Don't start that mess. It's called being held accountable. If you get bullied for being a bully, big whoop. All right, let them know. Tiffany Clark, thank you, Nikki. Love your lives. Love you too, Tiffany. Thank you. No, Rhonda, I haven't seen Married at First Sight Australia. I'm waiting for them to get to on demand because I never set my DVR, so I don't have any of the previous episodes. So I'm waiting for, AT&T to get them on demand so I can watch them. Jen said, I'm going to miss your Christiana impressions on Friday. I know. June is going to take too long. We got like what 3 months before any more Love After Lockup. I'm so disappointed. Christine C said, "This has been my best find all year. I love these live chats. Thank you." I think what I want to do more of, because we end up having these conversations, what if I start uncomfortable conversations with a glittery Black woman? I would never, Emmanuel. I ain't the one. But I think I'm just going to keep these lives where we just talk about certain topics, because it ends up happening anyway in the chat. So I think I want to start doing something like that, or maybe like a weekly roundup live or something like that. Simply Simone said, "I said the same thing yesterday. People use the term woke or cancel to avoid accountability." Absolutely. Batch chat, J. Marie, is tomorrow at 12 p.m. And the same thing for Married at First Sight on Thursday. Absolutely, Tracy. Tracy said, "I do feel bad for the other actors that lost their bag because of sick people like Harvey and Bill." Absolutely. That's why, who was it? I forget his name, but he was the son-in-law on the Cosby Show. Because the show got canceled, he was living off of those residuals. And when the show got canceled, his residuals stopped. So he had to get a job. He ended up getting a job at Trader Joe's. Somebody took a picture of him to shame him. Tyler Perry, like everybody rallied around him. Tyler Perry contacted him and gave him like a supporting role on one of his shows. So he's back to working again. But that's what happens, because a lot of people, have retired from acting, but are living comfortably off of residuals that they have worked for on TV. And when that stops, so there's unfortunately the money for them. Tahara said, "I think they should replace Chris with Michelle Collins. She used to do after shows, after Paradise episodes and finales. I think she's funny. I don't know if something happened that they didn't call her in." I like Michelle Collins. I think she's extremely talented. I don't think that she would be a good fit. Here's why. She's been having a really hard go, because she used to do 90 Day Fiance and the 90 Day Fiance Live, and the fan base was just so brutal to her. With everything going on with Bachelor Nation right now, I think Bachelor Nation is far too raw to have Michelle Collins host, because I don't think that, she will get the fair treatment that she deserves. So I wouldn't recommend her for that. Because she's still healing from 90 Day Fiance. I don't know if she's going to be prepared for the headspace that a large portion of Bachelor Nation is going to be in. Lisa D. Kaplan says, "No, it absolutely exists. And I've watched it all year. And the people who are upset with Rachel come from an audience that have witnessed the cancel culture and censorship." Is it cancel culture and censorship if you're being held accountable for things that you have done? Simply Simone said, "Oh, okay." Simply Simone said, "Sharon gets paid $1 million per season." Oh, really? She's been on that show for a long time. I think she probably started off at $1 million, because I'm gonna be real with you guys. $1 million that's where everybody starts in TV. That's how much money you can make. Okay. So I think it's more. Thank you, KT. Miss Brown Sugar said, "Nikki, I love that. Let's see if we can figure out a video call and streaming opportunity or a periodic Zoom call." I won't do it right away, but it'll definitely be coming up, because I'm meeting with someone next week to help me with my StreamYard, because I'm not the IT girl, right? So I'm setting something up. I have a training with someone very soon to set up StreamYard, and then maybe a little call-in thing. That would be fun. That will be. Nelly said Tyler Perry is saving everyone. He sure is. Thank you, Abigail. Oh God, I'm literally reading somebody's comments, and the comments jump. Birdie B said, I hope I'm saying your name right, said, "I didn't know the talk was doing that well." Oh yeah, like guys, there's a lot of TV shows that a lot of us don't watch that are killing it. I had one of the highest viewed shows on network TV. NCIS. NCIS. Who knew? I'm telling you, I told my friend, girl, I don't care, whatever you want to do, don't you leave that show. NCIS is beating out almost every show in the viewing department every year. That cast is eating. Don't play with NCIS. NCIS is a powerhouse. Nobody is coming for them. There's a lot of shows that are like that we don't think are popular with, our parents, our grandparents. Judge Judy is about to be a billionaire because of our mothers, because of our grandmothers, right? Judge Judy makes $100 million a year. I'm about to throw this laptop. She makes $100 million a year, guys. Oh, child. I'm telling you, like, just because you're not watching it doesn't mean that the majority of America isn't. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into calling in, guys. Abra Austin said, Nikki, is there residual pay for streaming shows? There is, but there's still a fight for it to be, because like streaming is very hard to regulate. So because it's not yet regulated, like I still get some residuals from Netflix, but not a lot. And the only reason why I get it is because one of the shows that I was working on got picked up by Netflix. I don't get a lot of money from it because because streaming service is so new, you still can't catch it like you can with network TV. So soon it will be. It's not now. I ain't making a lot of money from Netflix. Not nearly as much as I am making from network TV and residuals. See, man of me, I hope I'm saying your name right, said NCIS is still playing a lot in France every night. Those people are making coin, guys. NCIS. Bank. NCIS, that lead guy in NCIS, you can't touch him. Jeff Bezos, who? They are making money, guys. That's exactly why Offset guest starred on NCIS, because they paid him a nice coin to do it. Hey, Dwayne. Oh, yes, Miss Brown Sugar. Yes. I don't even know how you would catch that. Yes. Yes. I know both of them. I know Deanna and Lacey. Those are my girls. All the Black actresses know each other. Yes. I was like, girl, don't you ever leave that position. Don't you ever leave. Yeah. Oh, guys, she is a phenomenal actress. Even better writer. She actually wrote, when I starred, Deanna wrote the episode that I starred in on Adam Ruins Everything. She wrote my episode. She's a phenomenal writer. Triple talent, that woman. She's so, yeah. She's never leaving that show. I'm not letting her. I am not letting her. Lisa said, oh my God, I was working in royalties when streaming started. Nikki, it's a hot mess. Oh, it's a mess. It is a mess. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's good. I'm glad you caught it. Go watch NCIS for Deanna. She's amazing. She is I'm telling you guys, she's phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent. And please support Scam Goddess Podcast. Full circle. They're hilarious. They're not only is Lacey a hilarious comedian, she's a A1 actress. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I got to do some more editing because I got to put stuff up for you tonight. And I may or may not do Basketball Wives. I think there is something that I saw on last week's episode that if it's still persisting on this episode, I'm going to do a video about it because we got to talk about it. Because I hate what they're doing with OG. I so disappointed in that show. But let me go. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. I told you it was going to be long, but we had a good time. This is the end of the road for us with The Bachelor. What a journey we have been on. What a journey we have been on. Wow. But look at us now, baby. We made it through unscathed, and we started out with a biracial bachelor and ended with a black one. Who would have known? Who would have known? But seriously, Matt, get therapy. Get therapy. You and your family, get therapy. Boy, I would have never wanted what happened to you to happen to me and have the world watch it. Yikes. But, you live and you learn. You live and you learn, and give Rachel Lindsay her flowers, because she is doing the Lord's work for all of Bachelor Nation, and she is not getting nearly enough recognition and protection that she deserves. Love you, family. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend here with me at NikkiStar TV. And if you like what you see here, please make sure you like and share and like. Continue to chat with me. I'm going to let this video render, and then I'll get down in the comment section with you guys. Thank you for all of your support. It truly means a lot to me here on this here platform and beyond. Love you, family. See you soon. Bye. Mwah. So we've come to the end of the road. Oh, thank you, Winsome. Thank you for the PayPal. Love ya. Bye, guys.